mean that, you know what I'm saying, it wasn't something else. I believe with the father, because I'm going to speak to facts. I'm not going to speak to what he probably did or what possibly happens in their house or anything like that. But when he spoke on air, he said that he had finished battling cancer and he felt that he lost everything. And now the only thing he had to live for was his kids. He said that in an interview. And so he lost one of his kids and he said, right now, I just feel empty. I don't know what to feel. I don't know how to process this. That's what he said. He said it on live air. So everybody processes things differently. Some people will get hysterical. Some people will go another route. How he processed because of the things that have happened in his life before, we don't know. We can't assume that he lives such a cushy life that he's never seen it and it breaks him. Or we also can't assume that, some other people, especially like black people who live in the hood, who saw dead bodies and dumpsters and people getting shot in the street. We can't say that when they finally see one, they're just going to be stoic or they're not going to break up. So we don't know how people are going to treat a situation. I think we just need to go on the facts.
Right.
Also, since you mentioned, well, also welcome to the stage, Marcus. Appreciate you being up here. You brought
Absolutely.
up the
Thank you.
father's interview. I want to play the father's interview, and this is the full one-on-one interview with him.
My
He
hope.
didn't. I don't think he said it in this one. I think he said it in the one that he was in the house. He was either a house or something. It was a plain wall behind him. So I don't. The one that he actually said where he doesn't feel anything anymore. At least the one that I remember him saying it was he was in a house.
Would it be? Hold on. Was he was he on like a webcam or was he like just sitting there?
I don't know. I saw it days ago. Like I said, it was just.
If you could find it and give me the. Oh wait, hold on. Are you talking about like this video right here? All right. Was he in the house with the brother? You talking about this video?
No, he was sitting on the couch. I guess it was his living room. He was sitting on the couch, and they were interviewing him just shortly after the whole thing happened. His son
Uh,
wasn't there yet.
Hmm.
if you
Wasn't
could
there.
find it, if you could find the video, drop it to me in the back and I'll play it. But really quick, Tierney, did you want to respond to what Defno said?
What did he say?
I was hoping you was
When
paying attention to the conversation.
when I,
Oh,
when I,
If
when
you,
I said that people handle these things differently.
I mean, this is true. This is why you guys always tell women to keep your hands off of men, because just because he's a man don't mean he won't knock your ass out. And us as women have to learn that just because he's a man doesn't mean he won't knock your ass out. So I agree. People can respond to things differently. And this guy responded to bullying, and these guys saying, "Get up and move out my seat," and whatever else that they did, he responded the way that he felt like he should have. And
Being
plus,
a
let me just
Yeah,
say
my,
this.
my my statement was more so about the fact that the father was more stoic, and you said that he seemed like that's something that they teach or preach inside their house and so on and so forth. And that was what I was actually talking to when I said, you never know how people deal with things as far as their
that's an
emotions go.
assumption.
And so that's where I jumped in on that. As far as their motive for why he did it and all that good stuff, I wasn't talking to that. I was more so talking about your statement about the father.
But your statement as well was you don't know how people are going to react. So you kind of used that statement against what you were saying. But
Not at all. I'm only talking about one situation. I'm only talking about what you brought up, which was the father and him seeming more stoic and so on and so forth while he was there. I'm not questioning. I'm not even talking about the state of the mind of the individual kids as they were going through it. I'm talking about when you made mention that this is likely something that's learned behavior in their household. I said that we can't make that assumption because we don't know how people actually deal with the traumas and so on
okay,
and so forth.
you guys, not you, this internet world, make that assumption all the time when you say that young boys go to jail because they were raised by their single mothers. You guys make that assumption all the time. Now, what I was
Okay.
going to say is, let's just be honest. Black people do not usually, and I didn't say ever, kill Caucasian people. We don't because we understand the repercussions behind it. So usually we walk away, kumaya. But this is a different era. And this is an era where you step up and you better either step down or put your hands up. And I feel like this case needs to be treated like Kyle Rittenhouse or whatever the guy's freaking last name is, the one that went out there and took his gun out and shot people because during the Black Lives Matter march. This
That's not what
case,
happened.
this
Yeah,
case
Wait,
factually,
should
that's
wait,
incorrect.
have.
hold on, wait. Usually, I know, Tyranny. This is not against you, but for people watching the show, I know everybody that's over here watching right now, or majority of y'all have probably seen how things go on in other panels, and like most hosts won't step in; they'll let it happen. Me, I'll step in, let the person finish they thought, even if they wrong or you disagree, let them finish their thought, and then you can rebut, right? So go ahead, Tyranny, finish what you were saying, and then I heard Death Note. No, I heard Masaru first, and then I heard Death Note. Marcus, I don't think you came off mute yet. So let Tyranny finish, and then Masaru, you can go ahead.
Okay, probably something quick, but yeah, we should treat this case how you guys have treated us. Oh my gosh, teach him a lesson. Teach him a lesson. Yeah, you know what? Who cares if he whistled at the white lady, Emmett Till? Who cares if he only, spit on a person, or who cares? You need to teach him a lesson. So I'm gonna think just like the Caucasians in this, and I feel like we should. He taught him a lesson.
Go ahead, Masaru.
Sorry, give me a sec.
Okay, well, I'm going to pass over to Death Note, and I'll come back to you. Go ahead, Death Note.
Yeah, over here, just I don't think I said it when I first got on. Welcome to the show. But over here, we kind of talk about, well, at least especially in this stream right now. I know that Sel has said it multiple times, but we try to stick to the facts over here. And so, also, nobody in this entire stream, at least as long as I've been watching, said anything about women or any of those other dynamics that you brought in. I get what some people do on other podcasts and things of that nature, but we started this show. Well, he started this show, I'm guessing, to be a bit more factual.
Right.
So all those other matters really don't really play into the point. We're talking about strictly what happened, what didn't happen, and so on and so forth. We've already gone over a little bit of how Kyle Rittenhouse was justified legally, and how he did retreat, and it's not like he was just pulling a gun on people. He had it strapped on him. So there's a few
Right.
points that didn't have a whole bunch of basis there, and I don't want to attack your arguments because we've already gone over many of those things. But I think that over here we're more so sticking on facts. I wanted to talk about the women part and how men say
My,
that women should whatever. Yeah,
these
we're
are
not
my.
talking about
You
that
can't, you
subject.
can't dilute my facts. These are my facts. I'm using my
Well,
facts.
But your facts are
Hold on,
wrong.
wait, hold on, stop, because I'm not gonna hold y'all accountable for her, and I'm not gonna do the same vice versa. So Tyranny, let him finish first, and then you can jump in. All right.
Got you.
So, uh, Death Note, was you done?
Yeah. I'm finished.
Okay, go ahead, Tyranny, and then Masaru.
I mean, but don't tell me I don't know what we're talking about on this show. This is a general conversation, and like I stated, we're not going to sit here and say, oh, we don't know what goes on in people's household. It doesn't always matter what they're raised. But I've heard the talking points, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that talking point right now. But if I'm teaching my children usually go out and display out in the world what they've learned at home. Simple. So if you're teaching your kids to bully and say, hey, move up out this seat, get up out this seat, expect to get your ass whooped. And if you continue to try to play with me, because I see a lot of Caucasians think they could beat up black people and end up getting their ass whooped. If you continue to try to play with me and try to harm me, I am going to take matters into the hands that I need to. So, Black
And
Lives
then,
Matter.
yeah, but then to rebuttal that, let's not pretend that this kid wasn't pussy and pulled out a knife in a one-on-one confrontation. The guy literally just said, "Hey, you're not from here. You're not part of our crew. Get to step in." And the moment he said that, this kid was like, "Oh, touch me! I dare you to touch me! I dare you, touch me!" And
Mhm.
he was already reaching for the bag that had a knife in it. So you already know the kid was pussy because the moment he stabbed him, he took off running. So it doesn't matter at that point.
Was you there?
It's literally in the report
You're speaking as if you're giving a play by play, and you were
because that was the play-by-play. That's what it was. That's what it was talked about. It was in the report. That's what
okay.
happened.
For one, black people don't do that. Don't walk up to us and tell us that you don't belong here. Move. We don't play like that, and y'all know that.
He wasn't supposed to be there.
He was sitting down. He was sitting down.
He was also from a rival school. He wasn't supposed to be there.
That doesn't matter if he was from a rival school or not. The track meet was over and he was sitting down. Right. I mean, was the Caucasian kids a part of the track meet, or was they just there?
They were a part
So
of the thing.
They
so
were actually a part of the track meet, and they were
let
part of the
me
track team.
let me break in for just a second because again, like I said, Tierney, I don't know what part of the show that you came into, but like I said, like Defno reiterated, we only deal with the facts that we've been presented with. Like I said, we don't know all the facts, but we do have to attack misinformation and narrative that is being pushed. As a matter of fact, in a statement that was put out that's dealing with all of this, one of the biggest things that they said in that was that it's a lot of misinformation that is hurting this case. And if you don't believe me, trust me, I'm just waiting on for the video to finish loading after all of these goddamn ads.
Get premium, nigga.
No, it's not even. It's not even. Look. It's not even YouTube. It's this. It's this. Like I don't even know why I'm looking at. Okay, wait. It's too many titties all over the screen. Okay, I got to wait for the ads to get done. But um, Dominique Alexander, a spokesperson for Anthony, was forced to deny that Anthony had been bullied by Metcalf before the fatal confrontation at the match. Now, the bullying aspect, we have to tackle that angle because a lot of misinformation is being out there saying that they knew each other. They did not know each other. The Metcalf father, he stepped up and said that they did not know each other, and the spokesperson stepped up and said that they did not know each other. So we already got that out the way. That removes the bullying aspect on that part about the whole they was familiar with each other. That's number one. Number two, it was indeed a track meet, but there was a team tent that was specifically set up for Memorial, and I can only assume that there was one set up for Centennial. But what we do know is that there was one set up for Memorial, and that Metcalf or Austin, the Caucasian young man, he had on a black and yellow uniform, which matched the tent that they were sitting up under. Centennial's colors, which I don't know, but he had on a different outfit or different uniform. So that wasn't his team's tent to be sitting up under. But we also do have from witness statement that when the police came and they asked who this young man was that had stabbed Metcalf, that a team member from Memorial identified Anthony specifically. And that is kind of giving us a one-to-one as to why maybe he was sitting up under that tent, not because of what people are saying on the internet, that because it was raining, because of witness statement that has pretty much congruentized that it didn't start raining until after he was stabbed. So he was more than likely under that tent only because he knew someone from that team. But that's what we have. That is based on the facts that we have been presented with. You asked the question earlier. You said, "Where? What was you there?" I can understand why you would ask that question, but you have to understand that when you throw that question out, the same question will be brought back to you, right?
No.
So
Okay.
yeah, so this is why I say we have to get rid of the emotion and only stick with the facts because this conversation, even though it's a good one, it can go a million of different ways. Well, what happened? This? How come this? In the white community, this? In the black community, this? In the country culture, this? In the black culture, this? All this, that, and the other. Get rid of all of that because that's nothing but fluff. Let's just stick with
Okay.
the facts.
Okay. The facts is,
Hold on. After you, then it's
look,
Marcus. After you, then it's Marcus. Go ahead.
I mean, I said what I said. Don't go over there and bully nobody. If he's not sitting in the area he's supposed to, so what? So what? So then
Then
that
he
gives
needs
you
to
right
move.
to come over there and pick. I mean, maybe he was going to.
Hmm.
Maybe he was going to. I don't know if
Hmm.
he was a part of running, but
Hmm.
maybe he was going to. And then you think it's okay to come and try to tell me what to do. Again, maybe he was about to move, but these guys took it to another level. They took it to another level. And when the other level was taken to, now people are sitting here trying to say, well, he shouldn't have did what he did. Like I stated, teach your kids, teach your white sons to don't put their hands on nobody, and then everything will be okay. But when you guys try to bring that 1938 mind frame to 2025, you're going to get your ass whooped. I'm not adding any extra thing in any extra story. I asked a question. But as simple as day, the kids should not have came trying to tell this young boy what to do.
Okay,
Simple.
hang on,
Hold
wait,
on, hold
wait,
on one
wait.
second. Wait, no, no, wait. I gotta play this because it did just load. But let me play this really quick.
Situation.
Oh my god. Fucking
Okay, let me
ass.
let me end,
Go
let me
ahead.
let me let me let me let me do a 360 on your play real quick. I'm gonna give you an alley oop real quick. If you say don't teach your white kids to do this, don't teach your white kids to do that, I'm gonna clap back at you real quick and say don't teach your black kids not to show up with guns, knives, and whatever the fuck else to something that that doesn't need to have weapons there. Period. He
You
shouldn't have had a
mentioned.
knife to begin with.
Mhm.
They in Texas.
Okay, wait, pause because I want this to play. Hold on.
The disinformation that is going online is hurting this case. And it has to stop. It has to stop, y'all. As we know it right now, Austin Metcalf and Carmelo Anthony did not know each other. They did not know each other. Let's stop it. They were not at a party together. Let's stop the lies regarding this situation.
Okay, so that's the clip that I wanted to play, referring to why it is that I'm having this stream. And again, thank all of y'all for participating. But we cannot deal in the whataboutisms. We only have to deal in the facts that is being presented. Now, Marcus was next. Go ahead, Marcus.
What's up? How's everybody doing? Appreciate you
All
having me,
good.
Sal.
No problem, no problem. Also, Chat Lives Matters in the chat. What's going on, Chat Lives Matter? What's happening, big dog? All right, go ahead,
Yeah.
Mark.
No, and like I said this from the beginning, it's an unfortunate circumstance because both parties lose. Like nobody wins in this at the end. A life was lost, and they're both promising students. From what we've known so far, they both weren't in any type of illegal extracurricular activity outside of school. You know, I do think at the end of the day, from what has been presented so far, like Sel has said, because this is what I've been talking about, what's been presented so far. If Carmela were to go to prison, it'd only be fair if he served like 15, 20 years. He'll still get out. He'll still be alive. Unfortunately, you can't see the same for Metcalf's family. Do I believe he should have brought that knife to school? No. Whether it's 3.5 inches or whether it's 5 inches or 6 inches, it doesn't matter. I've been part of athletic sports, teams before in the past. I've also helped out and coached. And, it's not the norm to bring weapons. However, this isn't where I live. It's not Texas. Texas, it's more, I guess, normalized depending where you're at. There are statutes and policies that people still have to respect and understand. This is under the frame of the law, too. So, it's a very dangerous precedent for us to give out in some people's panels or some people's streams and episodes, thinking that to normalize this and to think that maybe after this, if it goes in the opposite favor and he doesn't serve time, but he at least walks, it can send us, certain dangerous precedent for kids to do this. Now, it's not the first time kids had to lead each other through in or outside of school. However, you're not helping the cause either at the same time. Self defense, I understand at some point, but it can also get thrown out in this case easily because equal force is equal force, not equal with deadly force. And it's unfortunate. Like again, both victims fall under it. But yeah, again, great show again. So that's all I wanted to say.
Appreciate you. Thank you very much for bringing that. Again, if y'all are liking the show, I know that it is differences of opinion that is going on right now, but it's building for good conversation. We just have to make sure that we are staying away from the whataboutisms and only stick to the facts being presented. Also, make sure that you support the show by hitting the $ sell you like Cash App, or you can join the panel by hitting the StreamYard link that is in the chat and also is posted. Really quick, who came up? Tommy B. Tommy B, you came up next. What's up, Tommy B?
What
What's
up,
up, big
Tommy?
dog? What's happening, doc?
Go ahead.
Um, Number one, it's not normal for you to bring weapons to school. I don't know what school you went to, and I'm not even talking about the hood. Even in the suburbs, kids have knives for stupid reasons, not even for mischievous reasons. Oh, I found a knife. Oh, they sell them at the liquor store. Let me buy one. Oh, my mom got one. I'm gonna sneak it. Like that's not something that if you seen somebody a kid at the school with a knife, it's like, oh my God, he got a knife. Like that's regular stuff. But the part that I kind of get weirded out about with the equal with the equal force is because of the state that it's in Texas. I've lived in Texas. They almost promote the fact that if you're merely standing on my property, not even being a threat, and I tell you to leave, I can smoke you. Like that's the state that this happens in. So for me, it gets weirded because of the state that it's in, and because of the beliefs that I know that they hold in that state. For me, I think the bullying aspect kind of makes sense to me because of how aggressive he was in the situation. It's not normal for you to come up to somebody, whether they were in a wrong or right, and then take that shit into your own hands. As far as like physically touching that kid because he wouldn't move because you wanted him to move. Like in most instances, somebody's not doing that. They'll go get a teacher or security, whatever the fuck. So the fact that he put his hands on him shows me that even this whisper of the bullying effect, it kind of gives it credence to me. I don't even think most adults would even do that, let alone kids. So to me, it just seems like that's the angle. We talked to a cat down in the Dallas area, whatever. So the word around there is I guess dude talked to a chick that went to that school or whatever, and his chick might have had problems with old boy. So I'm not sure how true that is, but that's somebody that lived in the area, and that's what's floating around there.
Right. And I live
Appreciate that.
in Texas. Mhm.
Go ahead, Tierney. Go.
I live in Texas. This wasn't no one's property. Okay, the school principal didn't tell someone to go move. This is not Tommy B. This isn't what I was just reading
No,
that.
no, no. You took that the wrong way.
No, no, I'm
I'm.
reading that link when someone
Oh,
says,
okay. Oh, okay. Got you. Got you.
this wasn't someone's property. But yeah, so being from Texas, growing up in Texas, still currently living in Texas, Caucasian boys try that a lot. And I mean, down here, it's I'm gonna show you, boy. That's the attitude. That's the mentality. So I don't know where I don't know where you guys are from, but down here, the Caucasian boys try that I'm gonna show you, boy, attitude. So then we gotta say, okay, show me what you gonna do. Now my question is, where did the Tootie Bug? You can pull up. I don't have a problem with you pulling up. It's just a conversation. Um, my question is, where did the Caucasian boy's brother come from? Because they said that the boy was stabbed and then he died in his brother's arms. So where did the Caucasian brother come from? Did he have nothing to do with it? Was he
I can
just
answer
in the
that.
back? Go
Go
ahead.
ahead,
I can
definitely.
answer that. Yeah, so he was sitting in front of this whole situation. So when everything happened, he looked back to see his brother. His brother was sitting behind him. I don't know if it's one bleacher, two bleachers, five bleachers. I don't know. All I know is that based off of the statements that came out, he was there at the game supporting as well, and he was sitting behind. I mean, sorry, he was sitting in front of his brother. His brother was behind him, and the whole altercation happened behind him. And he jumped up when his brother called out and all that good stuff, and went to hold him. Whatever.
So as a sibling, you're saying, which I feel like the brother was gonna lie. You feel that the sibling just sat back and was just watching until the case got even worse. You don't
That's
think
an
the
that's an
sibling?
I got you. That's an opinion. What about the fact? The fact is that his brother did indeed hold his brother did indeed hold him until he expired. I'm using the word expired. Because I just realized I forgot that I was streaming on other platforms. I had to be careful of the language that I use. But and also there is no mention of his brother being involved in the altercation other than the fact that he grabbed his brother after he was stabbed. So I get the angle, and this is the reason why I'm stopping you. I get the angle of, yeah, if that was my brother and I see my brother involved in an altercation, oh, you best believe I'm standing 10 toes down, either right next to him, behind him, or in front of him. But in this case, particularly, from what we understand from witness statement and from the account of Anthony himself, is that there was a verbal altercation where it came to Austin telling him that he needed to move. And I don't know if the person behind you is okay with being on camera, but if she okay with being on camera, then that's okay.
No,
But
no. We're in Colombia. She doing some stuff. I was just making room.
okay, I just want, because people be watching cameras. They're like, "Oh, look at her booty." It's just like, man, come
No, we're
on,
not looking at
man.
her booty. She's married.
Yeah, But the thing is, when we just stick to the facts, right? The brother was in attendance, but he didn't have nothing to do with this. At least that's the evidence that we have been produced so far. Now, as far as what happened, Austin approached Anthony. Austin is the Caucasian kid, and Anthony is the black kid. Austin approached Anthony, who was sitting up under the tent, which he wasn't supposed to be there because it's not his tent. So we understand for the other that why maybe he was there. Who has the squeaky going on? Anywho, once he asked him to move, this is from witness statement. I need everybody to understand this. Once he was asked to move, he grabbed the bag. Not he told him to touch him and see what happened and then grab the bag. No, from witness statement, they have corroborated that he grabbed the bag off the initial um verbal from
Request.
Austin. Yeah, request. Thank you, off the initial request from Austin to move, and he then grabbed the bag. So he deferred to the bag first, and he put his hand in the bag. He said, "Touch me and see what happened." Then he says, "Punch me, see what happened." And then Austin allegedly grabbed Anthony, and then that's when he upped the knife and he stabbed him. So now that we have the facts out there, once again, Tierney went off camera. I don't know if she was available, but
He was
Christopher,
laughing or something.
yeah, she dealing with some personal stuff. So Christopher J is on the panel. What's going on, Christopher J? What's happening, dog?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Nothing much. What you got for me?
What's up, Chris?
What's up, y'all? I hate that this involves children because it's a different rules and different set of rules, especially since it was on school ground. Now, some people say they was at a track meet. That's still school grounds by way of the school district,
Hmm.
meaning they do some shit on that particular property, they can still be penalized regardless whether they're at that school or another school or another school. You're still going to get the same amount of smoke. It doesn't matter. So this is why I hate the situation happen, how it happened, more importantly, but also where it happened. In the
Uh,
state of Texas. Uh, what's up, Tierney? You want to go?
Oh, I was just gonna say, what's up, what's up, what's up? But Miss Tootie even said herself that if it was her brother, he would have been right there. That's normal. It's normal. So I hear what we're saying because I'm sorry, 36 years old. I don't believe everything that people say in court. Um, but if the brother sat back and didn't do nothing, that means he knew his brother was wrong. That means he knew his brother was tripping. But I don't see people sitting back, especially if my brother or sister about to get into an altercation, and I'm not joining them or making sure they're okay or anything like that. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's a good
But,
point if they in the
but that,
right.
yeah, but that's again another opinion, ain't it?
It's an opinion, but uh, I think it's a good point. Like
Oh,
if you're doing
So
something that seems to be in the right, usually you're not gonna sit around. But if you start in trouble, then I might be like, oh, you on bullshit and sit around. But
I
yeah,
need
like you
to
said,
make
it's an
sure that
opinion.
we. I need to make sure that we
Or
set the. I need to make sure that we set a precedence for the conversation. So, are we stepping away from only dealing in facts, and we're now just going to throw shit at the wall until we get something, or
Well,
are we just going to
I'm
stick
gonna,
to
I'm
the
gonna be
facts?
honest with you. So you like the facts is based off of the
Yeah.
news essentially and the police, which
No, I've only
we
gone
in
by no,
America.
no. I've only I don't care, and this is what I said over on Freezy's show. I don't
Mm,
care about what a article who was written by someone who may have a biased agenda. I don't care
mm,
about that. I only go by the police report, even
yeah,
if in the witness statement they may have been wrong. The thing is that is the only report that I'm going by because
yeah.
that's from people who was actually
But
at the
they
scene.
But they even have two police reports that kind of, I'm not gonna say contradict, but they had one of them where one officer left shit out that
Uh-huh.
the other officer added. So again, that's probably going to be the closest to accurate we can get.
Yes.
But even with that, that shit can get fuzzy. But I get where you come from.
Yeah. Well, the reason why I'm having whoever has background music playing, please mute up. The reason why
my bad,
I'm
no
doing
joke.
this stream, okay, the reason why I'm doing this stream in particular is because what's happening online is people are painting narratives, which is causing more harm to this case than it is to actually good. And what's
Gotcha.
happening is
Yeah.
people are making this entire case into something that it does not need to be. They are trying to base it particularly on race and how it is that and thank you Tierney for doing that, even though you probably didn't mean to do it intentionally. But people are trying to liken this case to the Kyle Rittenhouse case and saying that, oh, because he got a
That's totally
million dollar
different.
bond, Kyle Rittenhouse didn't get $1 million bond. It's just like, okay, but if you look at the case and you look at the facts, Kyle Rittenhouse bond was $2 million. His bond was $1 million.
Yeah,
Oh well, what about, and what about, we got to get it. This is what I said. We got to get away from the what abouts. We have to just stick to
yeah,
what's
yeah,
presented before us. So right now, I'm treating everyone that is watching and everyone that is on the panel just as a juror. Only live within the facts. We can go about the what about. I'm gonna just tell you right now. If this was my brother and you stabbed my brother, I'm going to
Oh,
make
I'm
sure my
sliding
brother's
on you.
okay. Yeah, I'm glad, right? But that didn't happen here, right? That's why we have to get away from the emotional responses of what about is. We only can stick to what's happening in the now or what we know. Because when the video comes out, that's going to shut up everything. But again, people
well,
will want to paint a narrative and propagandize even that situation to try to make more of what it's not.
even that part though, still, like if it was my brother, if you got 10 people on the panel, all 10 gonna say, I'm gonna do this, but you literally have a situation where it didn't happen, means
Mhm.
motherfuckers is lying. Motherfuckers don't know what the fuck they gonna do in that situation. Listen, when
Mhm.
Kaepernick took that knee, I saw so many white folks say, if you sit down during the national anthem, I'm gonna do this, this, and this. I
Mhm.
purposely did that shit at high school, college, and professional games, and ain't a motherfucker blink an eye at me. So everybody can say what they should have, could have, would have done, but it's different when you right there in the action.
Right.
Not to mention your brother is dying. So are you going to go after him or are you going to try to save your brother?
You
People
gonna check
tend
on
to
your
forget
brother.
that part.
You can check on your brother. Yeah, my brother's last moment, my brother's possible last moments of life is more valuable than me chasing down that fool. But guarantee you,
Exactly.
if my brother dies, or whether my brother dies or not, I'm going to make sure he's okay. If he's okay, I'm coming after you. If he's not okay, I'm definitely coming after you. But anyway,
Yeah, at that
uh,
point, like it doesn't
Hey,
matter if my
but
brother, if my brother is dying in my arms and then he expires in my arms and I see you run away, motherfucker, I'm gonna find you.
yeah,
You think shit's
so,
sweet?
And you
Nah.
don't got a weapon?
here's the facts of this situation. This is why homeboy is screwed. Um, What's posted this on his community post. The Frisco Independent School District student code of conduct: possession of prohibited items, including a pocket knife or any other small knife. He's screwed.
okay. So thank you, appreciate you for bringing me that. Can you send me that link so I can pull that up on screen so everybody can see that?
Fantastic. Put that on his community
Yep,
wall.
that's what.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
that's
on
what I
his
read.
community wall.
Okay, I'm gonna go get that from Fantastic Community. Really quick, hold on one second. I want to say thank you for Tootie Bug for supporting the show by way of Cash App. Shout out to Tootie Bug if y'all are enjoying the content. I'm trying to do my best, as to be a host to keep the conversation moving. But I appreciate you, Tootie Bug, for supporting the show. Anybody else that would like to support the show, you can hit the Cash App. It is posted at the top, or you can hit the super chat. Go ahead, Tierney, while I pull this from Mr. Fantastic's wall.
Okay, so you guys are talking about facts. I mean, this is why a jury even exists. We know that you
Here we
guys,
go.
that people's definition of you get on that stand and say, Judge, this is the facts. A, B, C led to D. Okay, great. So case is over, right? Right? Everything you just said was facts. So what's the reason on going forth with the case? You guys are acting like
What's
common
the reason for
sense
what? Say that one more
doesn't
time. I
have to
missed
be,
it.
huh?
What's the reason for what? I missed that part. You was cutting out.
I was stating, I'm sorry. So I was stating, you go to court and you say, Judge, this is what happens. A, B, C, and D. So the judge says, okay, case is over. No, you have to go through common sense as well. Even when you go to you pass the light, a red light or whatever, the judge isn't just going to take your word. The judge is going to input common sense, okay? Because people lie, and I already know that the brother is going to lie. I already
His
know that.
brother fucking died in his arms. The fuck you
Stop
mean?
cutting her off, Jesus.
I mean, it's in a way because I'm talking about the brother that lived. They're going to know that the brother didn't just sit back and just watch his brother get stabbed, and then that's when he ran down the bleachers and held them. Come on, common sense has to be put into play. But I'm going to predict this. I'm going to predict this. The black kid is going to lose because in Trump's America, no black man or black woman is going to win a case over killing a Caucasian. Simple. And that's part of white privilege. And you guys know that. But I think if we get to a point where we start letting y'all know, stop putting your hand on us or repercussions will happen, maybe your parents will stop saying the N word in the house and making you guys feel that you are greater than us. We need to start doing something to let you Caucasians know that we're sick of your shit. Don't put your hands on me. Don't try to bully me, or I will take action into my hand. But the black guy's going to lose. He's going to
Uh,
lose.
really
So
quick before we go any further, I did see it on Fantastic's wall, but
oh,
because of YouTube and because of their inability to be able to show the full page, I did go ahead and pull the actual student handbook, which shows the student content really quick. Shout out to Almanac $2. She says, "Girl, shut all the way up. You sound stupid.
you sound
Appreciate you."
Here we
you're
go.
in the chat and you're not even up here. Nobody in the chat can call me stupid. You're not even up here. Also, let
I
me say
will. You're
this, before I
stupid.
go. Okay, says your mom. So let
Okay.
me say this also. Frisco,
God.
Bitch, I can't even take you seriously at this point, honestly,
why'd you call me bitch? Why'd you call me a bitch? Why'd you call me a bitch?
because you're acting like one. To be honest,
No, I'm not acting
Oh,
like a
Jesus
bitch.
H.
So
I'm
can we move
acting
on
like
with the conversation? So can we?
I'm trying to move on, but
no.
Raw just pulled up, and I got to say hey to my baby first before we go
Scramble
anywhere
like an
else.
egg
Hey,
before you get
baby,
folded like an omelet, nigga.
Ooh, that brother's floating
baby.
in the air. How could his hands do this? Oh, someone get him out the air.
I ain't do it. I swear to God, I
I
ain't do it.
knew that was coming. I knew that's why she came up here. Somebody must have hit her cash app. Baby, everything okay?
Yes, but listen, first and foremost, we can have conversations without disrespecting each other. We don't have to disagree.
Thank you.
Exactly. That's
And
exactly where I was. Oh, go ahead, baby.
What's
and
up, bro?
we also know that the boy, when he had the knife and he stabbed the boy, the other boy had grabbed him up by the shirt. So unless he already had the knife in his hand, he had intent to do something. So I don't know.
And also, when the police approached her, he said, "Yeah, I did it." I was like,
Exactly.
"Oh,
And
Okay.
I'll be
okay."
right back, y'all.
All right, thank you, baby. But yes, we don't have to be disrespectful just because we disagree, right? Disagree should not equal disrespect, nor should desperation equal out to disrespect either. So let's not be disrespectful. We actually having a good conversation, and appreciate you, Tootie Bug. I see that you're streaming on your platform, bringing more awareness to it. That's great. The thing is, we don't have to be disrespectful. So let's stop with the disrespectfulness. Now, let me go on to where I was going. Frisco Independent School District
God
Student Code of
damn.
Conduct
Okay, my
20. Hit my cash app.
damn it.
Student Code of Conduct. We're going to go to page 11. That's where we are actually going down to. So, property offenses. Students shall not damage or vandalize property owned by others for felony crime mischief. We don't need to read none of this. That is not what we are interested in. What we are interested in is this possession of prohibited items. Students shall not possess or use all of the following: fireworks of any kind, smoke or stink bombs, or any other pyrotechnic device, a razor, box, cutter, chain, or any other object used in a way that threatens or inflicts bodily injury to another person. A look-alike weapon that is intended to be used as a weapon or could reasonably be perceived as a weapon, which includes an air gun, BB gun, ammunition, a hand instrument designed to cut or stab another by being thrown, a firearm silencer or suppressor, a location restricted knife. This is why I'm glad that this is right here. Location restricted knife. Now, really quick, Mr. Fantastic posted this on his wall, but I also needed to do this as well. Really quick before y'all say anything. Location restricted knife.
Yeah, that's under 5.5 inches. Or if
Thank
it's
you.
over 5.5 inches, it's location restricted.
Correct, but
Yeah.
I need everyone to see that because remember we're
Okay.
only
Yeah, yeah.
dealing in the facts. So when you read a location restricted knife, we have to look up in Texas what is considered a location restricted knife. Is defined as a knife with a blade over 5.5 inches long. These knives cannot be carried into certain locations, including schools, airports, certain bars, and/or government buildings. To Christopher J's point, this school stadium or school function where this happened at is a part of the school because it's school property. So, is he allowed to have this knife? Technically, yes, he is allowed to have this knife if it is under the measurements of 5.5 inches long. So now that I need everyone for that's watching right now, put a one in the chat if you understand that if this knife, as you said, keep reading, okay, I'll keep reading. A location restricted knife, a club, firearm, stun gun, knuckles, oh,
That's what I
that
read.
changes things. A pocket knife or any other small knife. Okay, small knife. Okay, my apologies. Thank you, Devin, for pointing that out.
What school
So,
did the boy go? The black kid go to? What school did he go?
Centennial High School, I believe that's the name of it. Yeah,
Frisco?
Centennial.
Is that part of Frisco?
Yeah,
Yes,
Frisco,
in
Texas.
Frisco, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, he was not supposed to have this knife at all. So yes, he is screwed. He wasn't supposed to have this knife at all.
He's gonna lose anyway. It doesn't matter if he didn't have the knife or
Well,
not. The
okay.
point is,
Now,
Shell,
wait,
Shell,
hold on,
quick question.
hold on, wait. Tierney, let me ask you a question.
okay.
I understand your position. Who has the squeaky?
No, that's my
Um,
paper. Sorry, I'm
Okay.
counting up.
So, really quick, this is just for Tierney. I understand your position, but let me just ask you, based upon the facts that this man had a knife, whether it was long, small, whatever, he was not supposed to have it. Based on the facts, should he be guilty, and should there be public duress as to why it is that he's guilty?
He's going to be guilty.
No,
I mean,
not
even if I say, okay, he should be guilty because he had a knife.
thank
Look,
you.
I grew up in a
And
city where
wait. In that, because we dealing with how did Omni put it? You don't eat an elephant as a whole. You eat it in pieces. So we deal
okay,
with it piece by piece. One, he should not have that knife. That's number one. Number two, he used this illegal knife on school grounds to either defend or attack someone because we don't have the video footage. We only have witness statements, right? Based on that, and that there is a dead body. Should he be found guilty? Not based on what you feel or what we think, just should he be found guilty for those two facts alone?
I don't know. I don't know. Sure,
Okay, go ahead.
he could be reprimanded for having the knife, but could you highlight what Royce said? Because like Royce, this is what I'm saying. Y'all say we're not going to play race. That's not what we live in. Let's not act like we don't live in a racial world. And Frisco is the land of the plantation. Bro, like you said, George Zimmerman wasn't supposed to chase behind Trayvon and still got off. Kyle wasn't supposed to shoot and kill people, but he still got off. That's what I'm saying. Regardless of whatever facts that you guys try to bring into this, it is about how you look. And it doesn't matter. It is illegal for blacks to kill anything, but it's perfectly fine for Caucasians to kill who they want because it's going to be justified. That's just what I that's just the truth. So
Really quick, HQ reacts with $5. Oh, and by the way, Tierney, are you monetized on your side?
I don't get no money, but I guess I am.
Okay, if you do get a super chat, let me know. I'll pull it up on screen. Or if you get any support, just let me know and you can shout it out. But HQ React says with $5, she says this will be pled down to manslaughter. The three legs of first degree are not there. Plus, they can't get him on intent, and that has to be there. And I get that, HQ Reacts. But
Uh,
also, HQ, I want to point out something to you. He was not supposed to have a knife there at all.
so that's my question. Does
and
he have a
intent
possession?
and
Hold
the
on, hold on,
intent
hold
was
on.
there. Okay.
Is there a possession charge?
Is there a possession? From what I understand right now, they only charged him. Well, the charge is as stems is only first degree murder. Well, okay, you
Because
know
that's
what?
kind
Because
of
I
weird to
wait,
me.
hold on, wait, because I
Okay.
know that this show is not going to be monetized because even though I don't want emotions to be involved, emotions going to be brought into it. So make sure y'all supporting the show as much as possible because we're gonna lose our sense of it might become hostile. So make sure y'all support the show because I don't think this show is going to remain entertaining. But
That's a very smooth way of putting
yeah,
it.
yeah, make sure y'all supporting the show. Make sure y'all hitting the cash up in the super chat. I know this show is going to go into the yellow or to the red, but go ahead. My bad. Go. What's your question?
It
Tommy.
already
No,
has.
I'm just wondering because normally if you get picked up for something like that, that's going to be if that's a charge that they can throw on there. That's usually a charge they put on there is possession of a however they would word it down there. I'm not sure how they would word it, but
Um,
I was gonna say,
go
depending on
ahead.
who the district attorney is, they're only gonna charge though with something that they know they can actually win.
so
So
that's what I'm
that
saying. So if the
so
knife is illegal, that's the easy charge to win. You get what I'm
what what
saying?
what? No, no, I agree with that. But
Yeah.
if there's bigger charges, they'll let the little ones go. So the big
Mm,
charge,
And if you think
the big charge on
Tyranny,
well,
this,
check the back chat.
the big charge on this is somebody is deceased.
no,
That's the
I agree
biggest.
with you, but what
That's
I'm saying is
mhm.
usually the little charges that get dismissed is something that you have to make a fight for. If the knife is illegal and we know he possessed it, that's an open and shut guaranteed victory right
Right.
there. So for me, for them not to even present the charge, kind of makes me go back and forth with. I mean, he read it. I've read it a couple of times. I've read it where he was cool to have it or not. I'm not sure, but it just for me that's why I asked him like, was he charged with the possession? Because that right there alone would end the whole conversation of whether he can have it or not.
So I get what you're saying, and on a normal basis, I agree that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Now I might be desensitized to all this because me doing what I do for a living, I see all these charges get racked up, and I see the
Yeah.
district attorney sit there and be like, "I'll take that charge. I'll take that charge." But the drug paraphernalia, you can throw that away. Although this
No,
person
but
had
that's what I'm saying, Chris. It was never even presented for them to throw out. That's what I'm looking at.
that part we don't know. I would say
Yeah,
this: that part we don't know, and also this doesn't mean more charges can be added later.
absolutely,
Also,
absolutely.
also, really quick, I want to give a shout out to Christopher J for sticking to his cash app, and
What up?
also thank you to Malcolm D for supporting the channel as well. He says to keep up the hard work, Cellulite Podcast. Appreciate it. Make sure y'all get y'all support in today, and also if you are watching on Tyranny's side, support her too. She don't have to be here, but she is here, and she's giving us a difference of opinion, and it's not really too bad. I haven't really yelled at her yet, but she hasn't said anything too crazy like she
He
said in
said,
the
"Yeah,
past. Yeah, well, me and Tierney has went at it in the past before, but I have nothing against her. I don't mind the difference
yeah,
of opinion.
tyranny cool."
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I love. I mean, look, I'm pretty, I grew up in Texas, so my opinion is different. Tootie, there's no point of kicking me off the panel and saying leave when hearing a few anyways. But I mean, I feel like conversations are great when you can get multiple different opinions. But I mean, just truthfully and honestly, I just, I mean, this situation is it's just we just know it's not going to go in our favor. Nothing ever does. And I'm not
But
saying let's favor murder. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying let's favor murder. But like Royce in the chat said, let's make it equal. If this guy is going to get in trouble for what he did, let's go back to the history books and put all of these people back in jail for doing the exact same thing, pulling out guns, chasing after young boys, shooting them and stuff to take them to their own
You
doom.
know that
That,
ain't gonna happen.
yeah,
whenever
I
y'all
hear
not
what I
talking,
hear
mute
what
up
Tyranny
because
is
I
coming
couldn't
from.
hear. Whenever y'all not talking, mute up because I couldn't hear what she just said on the end. I know she said go back in the history books, but I couldn't hear what she said because it was like some wind or something going on in the back. But I got a pretty good idea. So Christopher J was talking. Go ahead, Christopher J. Mind you, we are streaming on multiple platforms, so it's multiple people listening. So just make sure that we're not over talking. But go ahead, Christopher J. And then I read the super chat.
No, what I was gonna say was to Attorney's point. Yeah, that's double. They're not gonna do double jeopardy. Although I agree with what you're saying. The George, and also these are false equivalency. The George Zimmerman situation. Yeah, I agree. Trayvon should. He should have been thrown under the jail. We can all agree with that. But the Kyle Rittenhouse thing. There were so many legal
hmm
loopholes and scapegoats with that situation. The who was it? The attorney the attorney for for the against Kyle Rittenhouse,
Prosecution.
they suck, garbage, ass. I mean, trash, all of it.
Hmm.
So so there were so many loopholes that he got off with that. In the case of this one, you can use because shout out to Arno. He's saying there might be a legal scapegoat where he can bring up some type of form of self defense or whatever the case may be,
Hmm.
but I don't know how much that's going to help him. I'm glad that he told the truth, so he'll be credible for not being a liar. You can't turn him into a liar on the stand, but the defense will have to prove that because of his size,
Hmm.
because he's bullied, because he doesn't feel protected, something like that will have to be used in order to get him off, or pause, or just lessen the sentencing.
Really quick. So I want to. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tierney. You about to say something?
No. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Can I
Okay.
say something right quick, Sal?
Yeah. Go ahead, Tommy.
So I really wish people would stop using OJ. OJ is a multi fucking millionaire. that got away with some shit that we see regular white folks get away with every day. And the fact that the only case you can come up with like that is OJ literally leads to what the fuck we're talking about. Because that's the only case you can find that you think that he did it and he got away with it, and it was the opposite race or whatever. So please stop bringing up somebody that's a multi-millionaire that hired lawyers that made 4 and 5 times what the prosecutors made and got away with it.
Really quick, someone on the TikTok side said Ray Lewis. What about Ray Lewis? I don't know. I don't know.
Ray Lewis got got off from
Oh
double
yeah, yeah,
homicide.
yeah. I remember. I remember.
So Ray Lewis was never the person that did it, and Ray Lewis didn't kill 2 white folks.
Okay. Really quick, Tyranny, did you have a shout out you had to give out?
Yes, I want to shout out to my favorite Caucasian boy, Mr. Josh Watson. Love you for the $10 cash out. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love it when the other race of people don't say, "Oh, she's speaking opposite and she's black, so I hate her." They can relate to honesty. They can relate. So I love. Thank you. I appreciate that, Mr. Watson.
Let me offer something right quick, and this is to anybody on the panel, right? With the facts that have been so far laid out, right? And Tyranny, this is going against your perspective, so don't take offense to it. But the thing is, why I'm doing this show in particular, I have no problem with what Tyranny's doing, but I'm calling out the fact that this is something that is happening all over society right now because we want to interject race into something that it does not have to be a part of. Even when it came back to the George Zimmerman, this is George Zimmerman, right? Even when it came back to the Zimmerman case, um, I'm not one to say that he was wrong for, or I'm not one to say that he was right for following. What is the young boy's name again?
Trayvon.
Trayvon Martin.
Trayvon.
I'm not one to say that he was right for following Trayvon Martin because that's something that he just did on his own, right? As a matter of fact, I even had a difference of opinion when it came to someone else on someone on their show. But the thing is, hey, Wilkes, it was on Wilkes' show that he was doing. So the thing is, when it came down to the Trayvon Martin case, that all everything leading up until him bashing Zimmerman's head on the ground is what opened up the grounds for self defense, right? In this particular case, would I argue that self defense can possibly be used when it comes to this case, as far as Austin and Anthony? It could possibly be used, but you have to first deal with the things that is introduced first. He was not supposed to have that knife. And also, when we talk about proportionality, is especially when it comes to the case law, and they can't remember the exact case law it was, but Texas has already found and ruled that a touch or a push is not equal to leading to a death sentence or using a weapon for deadly force. But really quick, let me catch HQ. She says, without out, she says they charge him with first, so he would be held before trial. No judge would give bond. Most might give bond with the lesser of manslaughter. Appreciate you for supporting and that comment. But yes, the thing is though, that's where we are. That's what we have to deal with. And with the things that he's being faced with, it's not about he's going to lose just because he's going to lose. No, he's going to lose because he broke the law. And that's what we need to deal with. It's because he broke the law.
Okay, can I? So I think that a lot of
Hold
black
on, wait,
folks.
really quick. Hold on, really
Sorry.
quick. Zimmerman, am I pro Zimmerman? Shout Lives Matter. Am I pro Zimmerman? No, I'm pro law. So even when I'm not gonna give a personal relation,
Okay.
I'll just give a few things. If I did something that if I broke the law and I got caught, I can't argue that I should be innocent because I'm black. And I also can't argue that if a white person broke the law, that they should be innocent because they're white. I also
Hmm.
cannot argue
Hmm.
that a black person or a white person should be guilty just because they're black or white. Now, I can argue this though, because I know quite a few lawyers who I've covered and who I've had conversations with on this panel. I mean, not on this panel, but on my show and on their show. That when it comes down to the legal justice system in America, it's perfect because it's imperfect. Because I would rather 10, how do they say it? 10 innocent men walk away free than one innocent person to remain in jail. So no, I'm not pro Zimmerman. But what I am saying is that Zimmerman, because of the fact that Trayvon was bashing his head against the concrete, according to the law, That opened up self defense. I'm not pro Zimmerman. If anything, I wish Zimmerman would have left Trayvon the hell alone. That way we wouldn't have to be sitting up here and relating or referencing back to that case. The thing is, in this particular case, his bond is 1 million. Yeah, his bond is 1 million, and Kyle Rittenhouse's bond was 2 million. So that removes that racial part right there.
Okay.
Go ahead, Tierney.
So I was gonna say, um, Carmelo. That's the black guy, right?
Carmelo Anthony is the young black kid, and
Carmelo the kid.
Austin Metcalf
Austin.
is
Okay.
the Caucasian kid. Yeah,
So Carmelo used that knife in self-defense. The knife was not pulled out at first. He was minding his own business, regardless of where he was sitting. Rosa Parks, regardless of where he was sitting, he was minding his own business. Then the boy came over there and started messing with him. Now, Carmelo wouldn't have went to jail because if the boy would have never talked to him, because no one would ever seen the knife. It wouldn't have even known that he had the knife. So the fact that a lot, we're saying, oh, well, it's because he has the knife, it was illegal. I think it was only illegal because he got his ass whooped. Like I said, I'm not pro murder, but I'm listening to history repeat itself. And black people don't want to talk about race. We don't. We really want things to be equal. We do. But because we know it won't, we try to justify it. We try to justify this racist system. Well, I think because, no, it's unfair. So if you guys, not you, I'm saying the world, if the world is going to go off of unfair equals Caucasian, but the book will be thrown at you because you don't look like us, then why can't we do the same? I just want things to be equal. Yes, hit the cash out because you guys like the conversation. You know you do. Okay, but that's all that's just really it. I don't want things to be unfair. A lot of us don't. We don't even want to think, damn, I'm a black man. I know I'm gonna lose. If you get you the right lawyer, they're going to tell you, all right, Carmelo, I'm going to let you know your chances of winning is probably going to be slim to none. And it has nothing to do with really you bringing a knife. Kids bring things to school all the time that they shouldn't be bringing to school. Even when you pull out your phone and start watching porno in the restroom, boys. Okay, come on now. Y'all do things all the time that you shouldn't be doing. It's simply because we know that we don't look like y'all, that we are going to get reprimanded and the book thrown at us harder. And the Caucasian race, they know that. So you're like, if you're still up when I come back, then I'll be back up.
most definitely. Yeah, we'll be here.
So can I reply to this comment? This is so ignorant.
Which comment first? Direct me to the comment so I can pull it up.
Tutty Bug. Being inside of another team's tent
Uh,
is not doing nothing. How the fuck is me being inside of another? First of all, you don't own that tent. The school does. It's not your personal property. That's number one. Number two, I've been to sporting events where I had a homie from the other school invite me over to their side. I don't give a fuck whether you like it or not. You don't own the school. You don't own the school's property. You don't own none of that shit. So to sit there and say that's not doing nothing is fucking nuts. And that's why this shit gets racial because people make idiotic comments like that. And
hmm.
it's like, guarantee you that that comment doesn't get made if the shit's flipped the other way. That's why people go this way because you hear that dumb shit.
Really quick, Wolfpack had a question, but it was for Tyranny, so I'll wait till she gets back. Michael H. Was this question for the panel, for her, for me, someone specific in the chat? But he says, question, was it justified? The other kid came over. It's stupid kid stuff that teenage boys do. I'll answer that question once I know who you sent it to. Really quick, the lady that was talking, if race isn't a factor, then the law applies to anyone regardless of race. This is true. And race should not be a factor, but what society does, and specifically what I've witnessed within the black community is we always try to make it a race thing. Society, don't get me wrong, they always make it a race thing, but in the black community, we beat our chest and we sound the drum for defense by any means. That was for Tierney. Okay, I'll make sure to start and I'll bring it back up when she comes back. All right, Christopher J, I appreciate you. You say be right back. So let me start this and then I'll ask her when she comes back. 1 second, y'all. 1 second, 1 second. Where is that question? Tierney from Michael H. Where's Michael's comment? Did you delete it? Michael, did you delete your comment? There it is. All right, cool. Also, shout out to HQ React with another $5 for supporting the show. Thank you, HQ React. Greatly appreciate you. All right, cool. Let me answer that question though. Where is
Yeah,
it?
I just respectfully, Sel, I gotta
Go
say
ahead.
this, Cap, because you gotta understand, we're in a country where we've been our face has been played in repeatedly. We
Mm-hmm.
saw a man get beat on camera on the freeway, and they let every last one of those officers go. We saw that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't like the way that you put that, because it gives it makes it seem like we're creating this narrative out of nowhere. You get what I'm saying? Like our faces have been played in so many times. What they did to Tamir Rice, like, and to hear people back that up, what they did to what was it, Philando Castile in Minnesota, when you literally have an officer say, "Oh, I was driving by and I noticed the size of his nose. That's what made me suspicious of him."
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're like, when you say that, it comes across as if we're just pulling this shit out of our ass. This shit is a history, and we have a long history, and we can show you that history. It's
Mm-hmm.
public knowledge.
Gotcha.
So again, and I think the big part about it is, to be honest with you, is the empathy. I think is where we kind of the lack of empathy. I think is where we kind of we get tired of this, right?
Gotcha.
Even like they had the whole thing about Black Lives. They talked all this shit about Black Lives Matter. A lot of people don't know there was a white guy in Fresno, California,
Mm-hmm.
unarmed. They got smoked by the police. You know
Mm-hmm.
who went out there and marched for him? It wasn't White Lives Matter. It
Mm-hmm.
was Black Lives Matter.
Okay.
But that doesn't get blasted all over the TV and shit.
Of
So
course it
all I'm
doesn't.
saying is, so what I'm saying is, when you put it like that, I kind of get what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like if you say that to kind of give the history of why we go there with it, and not just like, oh, something happens and the first thing we do is run to the race car. No, there's a reason for that.
Okay. And you know what? I'll tackle this piece by piece. When it comes to how the race card is always being pulled, the race car always. Okay, there she goes. Her avatar. Baby, you good? Booba?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
If I pop up, you
So
already know
yeah,
what it is.
the reason
What's
that I
up, bro?
call out why it is that people all look, black people in particular,
Hey,
always go to the race card because they make things about race that has absolutely nothing to do with it, and also those cases are indeed separate. But I get what you're saying though, right? When it comes to the empathy aspect, so my question is, am I supposed to have empathy for the drug dealer who's selling drugs in the neighborhood that's killing people when he
You
gets
can have
caught?
you
When he gets caught by police, am I supposed to go down there and say, free my nigga Jay,
no,
even though
you don't
he's a
have to.
drug
No,
dealer?
no.
Right.
You.
But
I'm not talking
but
about empathy for you.
Right, but here's the thing. But Black Lives Matter would say that, oh, he got a drug charge for
Mhm.
30 years for selling drugs, and that's
Mhm.
wrong. My thing is, if a criminal is a criminal, how much empathy are we supposed to have for a criminal? Because now that leads into darker territory where conversations can really get wicked.
Okay, because this is where, again, so we'll push that hard line for them, right?
Hmm.
The Sackler family. See, when we sell drugs in the hood, we sell them to drug fiends. The Sackler family turned hardworking Americans into dope fiends. They tricked them into thinking that they were getting medicine and fed them heroin, which started the opioid crisis. Not a single second in jail. Not a half a second in jail. And sold more dope than any dude that you ever met in your life.
Okay, so your point.
So my point is, we'll have all that visceral for Buddy right there that's selling to somebody who's already a knock. But again, we won't double back and have that same visceral for the Sackler family, who literally haven't done a second in jail and have done 50 times more damage
Did they get
than what
caught?
Buddy over there selling five. Yes.
Okay, cool. So they got caught, right? And
Yes.
because now one thing Waha's in the chat, she said Waha says great point, Tommy. I'm not disagreeing with you on that, but here's the thing, and this is something that we always know, right? And I hate that this is an ugly truth, but most lawyers and attorneys will tell you, shout out to lead attorney Nate the lawyer, uncivil law, Ricada law, and all those other good law, legal eagle, all those good people. They will tell you straight up that when it comes down to the legal issue, it's not about what is the truth or what is the lie. It's about what you can prove in court. So I'm not one that's disassociated from that. I understand that there is some type of discrimination, but everything can't be discrimination. But if I had to sit there and I had to be a juror on the what you call them, the secular family, for selling the fentanyl or selling the drugs or the heroin or whatever it is, then if they was put on trial and I was part of that jury, I would say, hell yeah, guilty as charged. But
No, no, no.
unfortunately,
This my point, Sal. They never
mhm,
made it to a trial
right. So they never,
because they had the connections and the complexion for the protection.
it has
So
nothing to do
and
with
that's my
complexion. It has to do with connection. We see that and that
It
and that.
doesn't even have anything to do with
you
connection.
who the Sackler family,
What it has to do with is intent.
Robbie. They went to the White House.
Hold on. Wait, 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 wait. We about to wait, wait,
Whoa.
wait, wait. Hold
Did you
on.
see
Wait,
it?
wait. Hold on, Tommy. Remember,
Go
we're
ahead. Go
on
ahead.
other platforms. So it's other
Okay.
people listening. We can't just over talk. You see what I'm saying?
Okay. Go. Good. Good.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
All right.
let's finish our points. Then we could jump in and give our
Okay.
rebuttal. And if there's a mix up, then either me or Raw will handle the mix up. But
I
the
got you.
thing is, what I was saying is that when they get caught, if it was me on that trial, I
Uh.
would say that you deserve to go to jail. Nah, they didn't make it to the white. I mean, they did whatever and all this, that, and the other. Cool, fine. They got away with it. Cool. Just there's no such thing as perfect justice. It's all mute up really quick, Tommy, because your background. Yeah, but the thing is, justice is imperfect, but we can only do better when we actually start making the correct decisions when it comes to application of the law. If a drug dealer gets caught, then yes, I will say that he's guilty. He needs to go to jail. But do I then say we need to double back and go after the Sackler family? Well, if they already got off, well, how you want me to charge them for double jeopardy? That doesn't make sense. Um, Tommy, you can come off mute, or Raw, you
Yeah.
can go
Yeah.
ahead, baby.
They.
Oh, go ahead.
Can I
They
go
were
after
Solid.
never
them, Cell?
charged.
Both of them?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So after Tommy is Raw, then you can go ahead, Marcus.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, they were never charged because they was tapped in, and I'm talking about all the way up to the White House. But Ross said intent. Their intent was to make more money, and they literally basically swindled the FD. I mean, y'all can see the documentary because we going somewhere else. But if you watch the documentary, it literally explains it all. It's nuts how they did that.
So, opioids as a category of medication are natural, semi synthetic, and synthetic drugs, including prescription medications used to treat pain, and illegal drugs like heroin. Now, there are plenty of drugs that are Schedule 1 and Schedule 2 that are prescribed to people, right? They all include narcotics, including cocaine and some mo. It's not about the medication itself, right? This is why they haven't been charged or prosecuted. They're not out here selling baggies of heroin. They're selling a medication. How the user chooses to take that medication will be indicative of their addiction to the drugs. And their prescribers not regulating the amount that they're prescribing is the actual issue. So when we're talking about that family, that's why they've not been locked up. Like, if that's the case, then BC, the people that created BC powder, should be locked up as well because BC powders originally included cocaine. Coca Cola, the soft drink that most people drink every single day, originally had cocaine in it, if we're going to be honest. So then everybody needs to go to jail for everything forever, right? Because that's how cocaine actually became a Schedule 1 narcotic. Now, in regards to the criminal justice system, the reason that most criminals get time is predicated upon their attorney. See, me, I've been charged for high felony charges. And you know what? I walked away completely innocent, or rather not guilty, because my lawyer was a great lawyer. So, what we're really talking about is ineffective counsel. Is the counsel that you have able to adequately defend you? Have you talked too much to the police when you've been arrested? And when we talk about officer involved crimes and shootings, the standard or modus operandi for the crimes that they commit are scaled differently because of the profession that they work in and how they are intervening on what is perceived as a crime. Do they have a proper perception of the crime at hand? So when we're talking about these things, it's not about race, it's about knowledge of the law and how to use the system. But I'm be
So can
quiet though. Y'all got it.
Marcus
I
was
would
next. Go ahead, Marcus.
let me respond to Rob one sec,
No,
Chef.
they can go ahead.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Go ahead.
I would implore you to get informed on the Sackler family situation because you are way off. They literally had intent. They literally manipulated the law. They literally used language that was illegal. They literally took the FDA dude for a weekend. Again, I don't want to go down that path. I would implore you to look at the thing. It was nuts. It wasn't as simple as they made medicine and then people got hooked. It's just nowhere near that simple.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Marcus.
I forgot my point. I have to blame Tommy's light skinness. Tommy, because he's light skinned like me. That's why I got
So
pissed off
stop
right now.
bringing race into it.
I'm sorry. I apologize. That's the big problem nowadays.
It is. It is. But now, can you do you have some semblance of what you was about to say? I think you was going to make a point when we was talking about empathy, drug dealers, complexion, consideration, equal
No, I mean,
opportunity. Go ahead.
well, it's because just because of my history and what I've been through and what I've seen on both sides of the border. There's faults on both lines, of course. I don't think it's because one person of a certain race color gets off easily. I think it's because of greed and corruption and certain bylaws or certain things they pass over as far as bills, as of course. So I think that's where it kind of gets a little fuzzy as well. Um, but yeah, that's just it, because I don't want to stray off from the main
Is
topic what
somebody
we came
talking or is
for.
my thing off?
So
Yeah, he's talking. You probably just got
Oh, okay. I can't
your
hear him
audio.
for some reason.
no, you're
No,
I'm
I
good.
gonna
You're
back
good.
out and come in because I can't hear him.
okay. No problem.
Tommy's just hating. He's just hating on me. That's cool.
Damn, light
But
skin.
no, but other than that, man, yeah, it's just unfortunate. Back to the main subject though, with the whole Austin and the whole thing. There's no. I'm not letting any drug dealers pass on either. I just think it's a demand issue as far as the supply issue as well. So I'm just leave it there. I don't want to go too back into that.
Most definitely. All right, one second
Wait,
before we go
get
forward.
this, and I'm gonna hop off for the walk because I'm still at work. If we
All right.
want to talk about families and right, then particularly creating a product that would be addictive, we're gonna talk about McDonald's. We're gonna talk about the dairy industry. We're gonna
Mm.
talk about the sugar industry. Because see, that's more deadly than the opioid epidemic. And because of what they have force fed you with the dairy industry and the sugar industry, you have people that are now addicted to cholesterol medications, diabetic medications, heart medications, overweight, addicted to food, spending too much money. They told you that low calorie, low fat food was good for you when in fact it has more sugar than sugary products. I know you guys saw those documentaries on sugar, right? So
Hmm.
again, I get exactly what you're saying about the Sackler family, and I really dislike it when people tell me I need to do more research on a thing. But however you feel about a situation is however you feel about a situation. We're looking at the system as a whole. So if they arrest and penalize the Sackler family, they have to penalize a lot of big families for their level of creating addiction. Even the media moguls that have you addicted to media, even the people that created social media platforms like the one you're on right now. The way the algorithm is set up to make you addicted. But I'll be back, girl. Bye.
Thank you, baby. Really quick,
So,
let me shift. Hold on, let me
uh,
shift myself right quick. Do a little bit of marketing right quick. We are currently at 30 members for the channel. Can I get 10 members for the show? Like if someone would just gift 2 5 sets or just 10 or like a 110 set or like if 10 people just join the membership, be greatly appreciated. And also if you want to support the show, you can hit the super chat or hit the cash app. It's greatly appreciated. Shout out to who just did that super chat. Shout out to Deborah with the $5. She says raw always bringing the raw truth. Appreciate it. Now let me go ahead and respond because I see Tommy then left. He'll probably be right back. Let me go ahead and respond to this right quick. Roy says the fact that y'all are acting like race doesn't play a part in cases where it's a black and white person involved is just asinine. No, the fact that niggas try to make things out of shit that they don't have to be about is asinine, right? I'm not disagreeing with you that race doesn't play a part when it comes to people who have an agenda. I'm not saying that race doesn't play a part when it comes to things that when people have a when they want to propagandize something, right? I'm also not disagreeing with the fact that race is a part of the systemic issue that a lot of people are dealing with, because you have to remember it's not just black people that is suffering up under people who has agendas and intent that has a bias or racist. It's also white people too, right? You have Mexicans right now. They're going through a whole bunch of shit. All of the illegal aliens, they're going through shit, right? So everyone has a bias. What happens is when people choose to take action because of bias based on someone else's skin color or build, then that's where the racist implement comes into tact. Now, when that is dealing with the law, will I disagree with you? No. But in this particular case, one boy told another boy to move. That boy didn't like being told what to do. So a physical altercation broke out and he stabbed him. This has nothing to do with black and white. This has everything to do with the fact that this young man came onto school grounds with an illegal possession, which is that knife, and he used that knife to delete another young man. Now, remove the gender and remove the race, and let's just call it a white girl and a black girl, or a white girl and a Persian girl, or a Palestinian girl and a Mexican girl. Either way you want to spin it, when it's involving black people, and this is what I say, niggas in the kingdom of niggadry always want to make it about race when it does not have to be. I get what you're saying. I'm just saying history tells us that they tend to use that bias in the system often. I don't disagree with you. But in this particular case, when we are removing ourselves from the emotional aspect of it and we're only sticking with the facts, I want someone, or not want, I'm more so open to anyone who has disagreements with what it is that the law states, that the school code of conduct states that he was not supposed to have that knife. So him being black has nothing to do with that. You're not supposed to have that knife. I don't care if you're white, black, green, brown, blue, yellow, whatever. You're not supposed to have that knife. And if you get caught with that knife, you are subject to the consequences of having that knife. You're not supposed to have that knife on school grounds. You're subject to the consequences. You're not supposed to have that knife because of the possibility that you might use that knife to either threaten or cause great bodily harm equal to death on school grounds, which he did. There is no racial component in that. So my question to all of society is, why the hell are y'all making it about race when this boy clearly broke the law? I'm saying that Austin would still be alive had that boy not brought that damn knife onto that damn school ground. More than likely, it probably would have just been a physical altercation. Probably somebody would have got beat down, or it probably would have been a school fight. Then I have a different component that I can introduce to you. But when people is out here saying that black people are proportionally being treated differently in this particular situation because he is black and he has $1 million bond, that's bullshit. That has nothing to do with the facts of the case. We all understand. And for everybody that's watching, put a one in the chat. We all understand that he had a knife. We understand that, correct? For y'all on the panel, we understand that he had a knife, right?
Correct.
Okay. We also understand that according to the student code of conduct, he's not supposed to have that knife on school grounds. We understand that, correct?
Correct.
All right.
Correct.
We also understand that there is a dead body as a result of him using that knife on school grounds. Also correct, correct?
Correct.
Correct.
Mind you, I didn't say any race or gender. Oh, I did say gender. I said he. I didn't say any component of race. I just said he's not supposed to have that damn knife on the school grounds in which he used that knife to kill someone. What is there need to be said about the justice system? That boy needs to be found guilty. Not needs to be. He should be found guilty. And that's the end of the story. This has nothing to do with what happened to Tamir Rice, what happened to Trayvon Martin, what happened to any of those gentlemen who we have seen have been wrongfully deleted and or killed or mistreated by the system or its constituents. In this particular case, as of 2025 today, on the 12th of April, this is April, right? Yeah, 12th of April.
Yes.
As of what we see today, based on these facts, how can anyone say that this is a issue dealing with race? But if you lean on what the mainstream media, what social media is propagandizing when it comes to toxic masculinity, I can't believe somebody said that shit to me the other day. I almost jumped out of my goddamn soul. I can't believe someone said that. Oh, well, this is a classic case of toxic masculinity. Well, is this also a classic case of single parent household? From my understanding, both boys have both parents in the home. Which talking point are we going to apply to this case? But of course, go ahead.
No, go ahead, finish, man. I cut you off. My
No,
apologies.
no, go do your big one. Go ahead, do your thing.
No, I just, unfortunately, because we knew this was going to happen, they're going to treat this like it's like the George Floyd thing again, and it's not. It's like I said, it's a fortunate circumstance. Both kids had a bright future. One kid chose to do something with a certain action that is already under the grounds of premeditation. When you reach into the bag, you brought the knife to school. The fact that you were already warned before, and then you said, correct me if I'm wrong, Sel. He said, "F around, try me, and find out," or something like that. In that regard.
First he said, touch me and something gonna happen. Then he said, punch me and something gonna happen.
Okay, so there you go. So the equal force needs to stand ground here with equal force. A push for a push, or if you push me pretty hard, I might just punch you. That's it. But it doesn't need to go more than that higher. People are still trying to make the fight or argument of, well, you can't just tell him, or then there is no actual evidence saying that he was jumped or not. Again, we keep saying what we keep talking about in a lot of these panels for this case is because of the fact that we're just dealing with the information that's out there now. We're not trying, and again, my mind can be changed if there's more evidence that's going to clear more of what Carmelo stands. It could change, or it could further go down the point of what happened until, unfortunately, the victim, Boston Metcalf, and his family. Again, both parents came out on interviews saying, do not make this about race. Do not make this about race. And what happens, people on the internet or people that are triggered or emotionally invested or somehow want to project their issues into this case and make it about them. They're not making it about Austin Metcalf or Carmelo. They want to make it about themselves and what their issues, what they're going on with their lives. So we just need to be more careful, more responsible, and more thoughtful, a lot more selflessness, not selfishness in this kind of matter. But hey, unfortunately, kind of things like this is going to cause more divide because the people on the outside want to cause more divide.
Correct. Royce said, oh wait, Jay, I didn't even see you in the chat. My bad. Jay says, I'm tired of black folks constantly coping for the wrong cases and can't seem to be objective or compartmentalize, only conflate and deflect. I cannot disagree with you on that, Jay. I cannot. Because as a black man in the black community, guess what? It happens a lot. That's what we do. We love to do that dumb shit. Why? Because we're trying to drum up.
My bad, that was amazing.
I'm gonna beat your ass.
I was like, what?
My bad.
I thought he was watching Small Soldiers for a bit.
I was rush hour me. I'm gonna send it to you.
It was perfect. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. All one. But yeah, but that's the thing though. But yeah, I can't disagree with Jay's comment because that's true. And to piggyback off what Marcus said, we see it all the time. Look at YouTube panels. Look at TikTok panels. Look at video. Look at the shorts that's being put out. Look at the asinine anecdotal experiences that people are trying to use in blanketed situations and turn it into some type of terminology. So where now they're not trying to create a movement to just go against people for no absolute reason. And then the whole George Floyd thing, that thing was a fucking bust. But we're not talking about George Floyd. But now Royce just brought up George Floyd. If this was like the George Floyd thing, then Royce, I need you to retype that. Would be demonizing the white kid and looking into his past for incidents that he deserved to be deleted or that he shouldn't be defended. Listen, this is why I say whenever something crucial happens within the world, that mainstream media needs to be stayed away from. Anybody that will give you a biased, one-sided opinion, they cannot be trusted. because they
Correct.
can't look down the middle and see it for what it actually is. We all know that the justice system is nothing but a big, gigantic gray area. That I know is true. But what people do is they try to propagandize bullshit so they can try to get a movement behind them. Look at what happened with Black Lives Matter. They built their backs off of George Floyd. And what did we find out that Black Lives Matter did? They took the money, refurbished it, and recycled it back up to themselves, came up with all these unnecessary ass things just for it to fall back on its face. And now you have someone in a government office saying that someone was trying to lynch them just for it to be yet another lie. Here, I'll attack this angle. When, at what point in time do we say that enough of Black Lives Matter's bullshit? Oh, you saying that Black lives don't matter? No, what I'm saying is that the organization Black Lives Matter is bullshit. What I'm saying is that the narrative that is built upon niggatry, that is based in bullshit, is bullshit. And it's okay to say that publicly. Oh, well, you won't say that about white people. What I'll tell you is that white people can be full of shit too. And even the shit that they drum up is full of bullshit. How about instead of seeing it one sided, see it straight down the middle and call it for what it is? But people don't like that because they will have to engage their emotions. And when they realize that their emotions are not valued when it comes to the truth or what can actually be seen, then people get in their little fifis and then now they want to attack you and call you a coon and say that you're not a part of the Black community. Why? I feel that if you're a drug dealer in the Black community, your ass should be in jail if you get caught.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't get caught, you do your big one.
And
Yep.
that's why I don't engage with these conversations with certain people, because little to no logic is added. It's all emotions, especially pertaining to stuff like this. To your point, they want to say you're a coon or whatever the case may be. I said you got somebody destroying your neighborhood right now. What you done about it? Nothing. You the biggest coon. You the biggest sellout because you're allowing your community to die literally on your watch, and you do absolutely nothing about it. That's why I don't talk to certain people when it comes to certain conversations like this. Because, like I said earlier, I hate the fact this involves children, but unfortunately, this boy knows his fate. That's why he didn't lie to the police when they asked what happened. He said, "Nope, I did it." He know he's not supposed to have a knife at school, and I'm just gonna take a shot at that out of the dark that he knows there's consequences for taking someone's life. So it is what it is. Those people who are trying to justify saying, well, white people think they can do this, white people think they can do that. This has nothing to do with race at all. Because switch the pigmentation. Would you keep the same energy? I think we all know the answer. That's why I don't talk to certain people about this
Mm,
conversation.
mm, because if Anthony was white, Metcalf was black, could you imagine? Could you imagine all of the motherfucking tirades in the social justice warrior group troops that would be piling out of the woodworks? Look, a black kid got stabbed. This is wrong. Monster, you got booted for being disrespectful. We didn't have to be disrespectful in that moment, especially coming off of the series that I'm running, Monster. When we're talking about masculinity, we don't have to be disrespectful just because we disagree with someone. I can see if she called you out your name or some shit like that, but you didn't have to call her a bitch. And that's not me protecting her. That's just facts. I've had disagreements where I've called Tierney out of her name because she called me out of her name, but she still came back. But in that particular moment, that's why you got booted. If you don't like it, take it up with Raw. Yeah, and trust me, you don't want that.
Yeah, I was like, what you said that for? That boy
You
to the
don't want
death.
that.
Bro, write his name in the death note while you at it.
I mean, yo, and just to piggyback off what Sel was saying about organizations that have ripped off and have had agendas just to make money in capitalism. Same thing with like Just Say No to Drugs, right? They made a lot of money off making Kiki Camarena the agent who was tortured and captured and deleted over there. Made
Yeah.
money off of them and still incentivized on capitalism of pharmaceuticals. It's the same thing with
Mhm.
BLM. BLM, what did they do? What when they got the money, what did they buy? Mansions and cars and helicopters and stuff like that. So,
Mhm.
made all this money for that. So all the people that invested all that stuff into those organizations, look what it gave back to you. Nothing.
Didn't give you nothing. I mean, what's that? What's that? What's the lawyer's name or the black dude that Ben Crump? What? Every time that motherfucker show up, you should know it should be a scandal behind it, right? Just know it's a scandal behind it. I'm surprised he didn't show up for this shit.
Yet, yet.
Go ahead.
I said he hasn't showed up yet, so we know that's to be determined.
Well, he hasn't shown up yet because he doesn't feel like he can make money off of this situation. It's not a too big enough high profile case. You see what I'm saying? But the thing is,
Right.
because Charity kept bringing up the Kyle Rittenhouse thing, we seen what happened in the courtroom. I watched that whole entire trial from beginning to end. When she was questioning the old boy from what's that? They be coming on TV. Extra? No, not extra. The other TMZ, when he was up there, she was like, "Oh, are you just doing this because you want your 15 minutes or 5 minutes of frame?" He was like, "I could say the same about you." And I was like, "Ooh," because that's what's happening. People are just trying to build their, they kind of become infamous off of the name of a black kid who stabbed a white kid, and we sit up here saying he should be let free. Oh, if he not set free, then Black America should tear this fucker up. For what? Have you not seen the results of fucking the George Floyd shit? My homegirl, her sister, no, oof, I just almost put that out there. My homegirl, she was there when the George Floyd protest was happening. There go Tommy B. He back now. CCD says, and people still think Kyle took out black people. Of course, people think Kyle took out black people. They said that was the first thing. And when everything popped out, the first thing they said was Kyle Rittenhouse down there shooting black people. It was tons. It was all over TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, everywhere. He was down there shooting black people. Come to find out he didn't shoot not one. So why the hell is Black Lives Matter down there protesting about white people getting killed? Take your time. I'll wait.
Not only that, one of them that he shot was one of those. I'll just say that.
Yeah, he was one of them PDF files. Yeah. So as much as black people love to defend innocent people in situations where they're considered guilty, how come Black Lives Matter didn't show up and defend Kyle Rittenhouse? I just want to know.
The same reason why the NRA don't be defending black people. Like we can go blow
No,
for
no,
blow
no,
with
no.
it.
The NRA defends those who follow the law. Because guess what? As a card
Sell.
carrier, as a card carrier, and as a gun carrier, I can tell you right now, as long as I do everything within the scope of the law, when it comes to me shooting my gun or shooting my rifle, as long as I'm within the law, I'm straight. If I do anything outside of the scope of that law, then I'm fucked. What's
So
the
you know where
problem
I
with
could
that?
kill you on that?
Go ahead.
They didn't say a fucking word for Philando Castillo, and he broke not one fucking law.
Of course he didn't. But guess what? We all knew that Philando's Castile murder was wrong.
No, 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 no. What I'm telling you is the NRA didn't say a fucking thing, and
You're right.
he
Okay.
was carrying his shit legally. Had a concealed weapon license and all.
Okay. So public statements make us feel better.
I
Is
didn't
it
say
going to
public
bring?
statements.
Okay,
You
but that's what I'm
listen.
asking you. Does
Quick
It doesn't
public
that it
interjection.
make
statement
no, but it does make an effect. Is what I'm
affect
saying.
on
For real.
what? Will it bring back Philando Castile?
Come on,
And
dog. Don't do
and a
that.
quick
Because you know
interjection
what?
and a quick.
Hold on.
Tommy, real quick.
Give me 1 second,
Quick.
Chris.
It's a quick interjection about the
They'll
NRA.
make that public shit for the fucking white folks, and we've seen it before. I can pull them up if you want me to.
Go ahead, Christopher J.
No. We seen that, and also they did after the fact. However, it just came and went. It's like a quick announcement, probably on the website, or some official note. Quick announcement, then it went away. But we all know Philando Castile was wrongfully killed. Was this in Minnesota, by the way? Philando Castile.
Yeah, it was in Minnesota. It was right before. I
So
want to say
much.
it was right before George Floyd.
It,
Oh,
it
ain't that a bitch?
it was before George
NRA
Floyd,
did make a statement.
Yeah, I
and
want to
it
say
has something to do with who's the EMS lady that died.
I can't remember her name.
yeah, Breonna Taylor.
Breonna Taylor. That in combination with what was going on around that time, that caused them to clean house in the police department. The police chief got fired. So many other people lost their jobs. So it was a triple
Oh no,
phase.
no, no,
Like,
no, no. Breonna Taylor was in what was that? Not St. Louis, Louisville.
Louisville, sorry.
Yeah,
Wrong
yeah.
location. I'm sorry.
No,
Louisville,
Philando
now
Castile. No,
Louisville, they
you talking
clean
about
house.
Philando
Louisville, they clean
Castile
house.
and George. I mean not George.
I know who you're
With the
talking about.
big
It's in
nose.
Georgia. I know who you're talking
Yeah,
about. Damn.
but
Okay,
yeah,
so really quick. Really quick, the NRA issued a statement acknowledging Philando's Castile death as troubling and stated they will have more to say once facts were known. Initial statement: the NRA stated that the shooting was troubling and needed thorough investigation, according to a Facebook statement. They also affirmed their support for the right of all law abiding citizens to carry firearms, regardless of race. What more do you want them to say? Do
And
you
what
want
was the
to say
further
that
statement? Because they said themselves they was
Ahmaud
gonna make a
Arbery is
further
the other
statement.
name.
Ahmaud Arbery? Thank you.
Oh
What
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
what was that? Oh, after the acquittal, despite the
Mm.
initial statement, the NRA did not issue any further statements after
Oh,
officer. Oh, okay, so cool. So what could they add on top of we support those who are all within the right of law-abiding citizen of Americans, I'm sorry, law-abiding Americans to carry firearms regardless of race, and that it was troubling and needed thorough investigation. What could they have said after the case was over? What would you have wanted them to say in
it's not
support of
what
black people?
it's not what they could say. It's what they could do as well. You know they
What
have
could they
lobbies, right?
do?
They have lobbies, right? What do lobbies do?
What could they do? You saying bits and pieces. Just give me the whole thing. Come on, man. I'm
No, I'm
starving here.
telling you, they have lobbyists.
Okay, so what could they do? You're saying they have lobbyists,
I
but
don't
you're not
know.
making a full statement.
They could go into Minnesota. They can make shit like what I'm saying. Okay, hold on. What I'm saying is they can make shit crack. Because I can ask you the exact same thing. What is Black Lives Matter supposed to do for Kyle Rittenhouse?
Not a goddamn thing. That's
Okay, so
here's the thing though, Tommy. I didn't say that to be right. I said that to point out the stupid in it.
got you,
It's
got you.
dumb. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is the whole point of the show, pointing out the stupid shit for what it is. For
got you.
what? Why are we, as black people, wanting everyone else to step up for us? But if we're going to step up, it needs to be for the right shit, and we need to make sure that we're doing it the right way.
I
I'm
don't think
not
we
going
want
to
everyone
hold on,
else.
wait. I'm
Oh, my
not
bad,
going
my
to
bad.
sit. I'm not going to sit here and say that all black lives are innocent lives when it's a nigga selling drugs on the damn corner. I'm not going to say that, oh, I don't have a problem with a man standing on the corner selling drugs, and then once my daughter or once my son get a hold of these drugs that this nigga has sold and my daughter's dead, you think I'm not going to go after that nigga? What you mean? We got to stop standing up for the wrong shit and defending the wrong shit. We got to start standing up for the right shit, and we got to start defending the right shit. It doesn't make sense for me to sit here and say that, oh, the NRA is wrong for not saying anything about Philando Castile. Was he killed? Was he killed wrongly? Yes, he was killed wrongly. Should policing be better? Yes, it should. I can tell you right now. In some states, they only have to do what, 8 hours of training for a whole year. Most people who are of that community would tell you that that's not enough, except the ones that don't want to do it. De-escalation training needs to be heavier. Now that we made those statements, what does it change? Will black people stop committing crimes? No. Will white people stop committing crimes? No. But at the same time, I'm not going to sit back and defend someone who's openly acting in criminal acts. I'm not going to sit here and say that they should be innocent just because they black. That's bullshit. Go ahead.
No, I just think the problem that we kind of have is it comes across as we're held to like this super higher standard at times, and that's what gets annoying as fuck. It's oh, I understand they do it, but why would we stoop to their level? Oh, I understand they do it, but we gotta understand the position we're in, or oh, I understand, but why do we have to stoop to their level? And I think that's the part that just gets tiresome as fuck. It's like we got to be the ones to turn the other cheek. We got to be the ones to be the bigger person. We got to be the ones to do this, and this. That shit just get irritating after a while. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I don't disagree with you on that. It's just that when we have a situation like this, I just want the stupid shit to stop. I really do. I want the
I
stupid
would love
that's
for it to not enter anything, to be honest with you, bro. But in the
me
country that
as
we're
well.
in, it's
Yeah.
hard
No,
because.
it's not. It's
And
easy.
hold on, let me tell you why it's hard, Sal.
Go ahead.
And I can almost predict this. Damn near says this exact situation will happen on the flip, and everybody that's saying this shit about the black kid right now will somehow have an opposite opinion about it. And I say that because I've literally watched this shit. I've had friends where I'm looking at going,
Mhm.
wait, huh? I've had people try to explain to me how Tamir Rice could be mistaken for a fucking adult. I've never seen an 11-year-old in life that could be mistaken as a fucking adult. But this is the type of shit that we're hearing people try to excuse or maneuver to excuse some of the shit that happens, and that shit gets tiresome and fucking irritating, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, dog. Like I get so sick of somehow we look older, bigger, aggressive. We had a nigga on the freeway and the motherfucker's in a helicopter. You're in a helicopter. Talking about that guy looks scary. How the fuck would you? You're in a helicopter, my guy.
Mhm,
Like, it's nuts.
mhm. So I would ask this question to those people who lie and serve up propaganda and drum up narratives. They should be held accountable. Correct?
I would say yeah, but to be honest with you, again,
Absolutely.
but no, listen to what I'm saying. But that would be holding us to a higher standard because that's literally what the fuck America's done since it's been born.
Great. But can we not
That's why
call out
we
the
have to.
bullshit? Can we not call
Yeah,
out the
absolutely.
bullshit when we see
No,
it?
absolutely, 100%. I never have a problem. Like when people have their opinions about Tariq, you won't hear me fighting back. Even though I agree with some of the shit Tariq say, I know there's some of the shit he do be race baity.
Who,
100%. You
Tariq
won't hear me
Nasai?
fight back. Tariq Nasheed.
I will never listen to that
Even
motherfucker.
look, I'm gonna
Fuck
give you
him.
a I'm gonna give you a perfect example, and this is personal. My cousin got killed by the police 2 years ago. You have not one time heard me come on any of these platforms say those police was wrong, fuck those police, yada yada yada. The video came out, and I love my cousin to death, but he had a pistol only. He turned around, they told him to drop it, he pointed at him. So I'm not one of these irrational people that go, well, they could have shot him in the leg. You get what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm with you on that. Yes, and I do know some people would see that exact same video that I saw and would try to, oh no, but if it was the da 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 da, nah. Unfortunately, he made his bed. I think it was other circumstances that was attached to it. That's not the police's fault. It's his.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying is he kind of made his bed. So, that's what it was. So I'm not one of
Mm-hmm.
these irrational people, but at the same time, like, bro, this shit gets exhausting, bro, to see some of the and I'm not gonna lie to you, it
Mm-hmm.
leans heavily towards these conservative motherfuckers that have zero fucking empathy when shit happens to motherfuckers. Bro, I remember when the shit happened to Trayvon Martin, I
Mm-hmm.
literally remember comment after comment going, why would he wear a hoodie in the rain? Why would he wear a hoodie in the rain? You know what I did, Sal? The next time it rained out here, I just went around, I just looked. And guess who
Mm-hmm.
the fuck I saw in hoodies in the rain?
White people.
Fucking white people.
But here's the thing, though. So my question is this: as a conservative black man myself, right? I understand that I may not always lean and or agree with those who are not conservative, right? But my thing is this: just because I'm a conservative black man, would I sit here and say that in the situation with your cousin that he deserved to die? No, he didn't deserve to die. But I can tell you this much: I literally just went through a training simulation where I had to find a school shooter during a school shooting. And when I tell you that if you was not paying attention in this simulation, then yeah, anybody would have got right. But here's the thing: watch this. In any situation, everybody has a plan. We all have protocols. We all have SOPs, ROEs, and all this, that, and the other. But
Yeah,
no one know how to handle shit until it actually happened. I know
yeah,
Christopher J can't talk about his situation, but I can just tell you right now, when situations arise, you can either deal with it or not deal with it, and you have
yeah,
two consequences behind it: either you're going to live or you're going to die.
yeah.
And the thing is,
Correct.
in the situation with your cousin, I'm sorry that he got deleted. But here, I got a situation that was all over that was all over the news a couple of years ago. Does anybody remember the situation with that guy who got killed on the freeway in Detroit by police after he let the top down off of I believe it was a Mustang? He
Oh
had
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that was my sister-in-law.
Oh,
That
okay.
was my ex-wife's sister. And let me tell
Okay.
you about this Negro. This Negro and his wife, they got into it because they were separated and she had came into, I would just say, a large sum of money, right? After she came into a large sum of money while they're separated, this Negro wanted some of the money. So guess what he did? Now remember, I want y'all to remember this. No, I'm gonna go that angle. I'm gonna just say this. The only way he found out where she was, he went to her house. And you know how you take a cigarette lighter and you strike it and it got a flame on it and you just hold it there so that the metal can get hot?
Yeah.
This nigga took the damn cigarette lighter and got it red hot. I'm talking about red golden hot. And he pressed it to their 9-year-old son's shoulder. And he tortured that baby to find out where she was. After he found out where she was, he went and got the damn AR and he drove to the hotel where she was at. When she was leaving the hotel, this nigga, and I need you to understand something, a bullet from the AR-15 at close range will not explode your head. But I need you to understand something. This nigga shot her head off her shoulders. Hold on for a second. I never told you about that story. It was all over the news. I was almost on Anton Daniels for this shit because he was covering it, and I said, "Yeah, that's my sister-in-law." He was like, "Seriously?" My ex-wife, she called me at work crying. She was like, I said, "What's wrong with you?" Jamisha. I said, "What the fuck happened to Jamisha?" So let me finish the story. This nigga shot her head off, which means that he had to shoot her in the head multiple times. And he shot the dude that she was with, which was her, I believe it was her ex or her baby daddy, something like that. Anywho, after he shoots her head off, he goes and picks up the kids from the school, goes withdraw all the money out of her bank account, give the money to the kids, and then he goes and he driving up the freeway and they caught his ass. I think it was like 2-3 hours later or something like that. When they caught up to this Negro, he dropped the damn top off the damn car and he had the AR sitting right there and he had extra clips. What was the police supposed to do? I'm not one that is sit here and say because of what happened to your cousin and because of what happened to my ex-sister-in-law and her ex-husband. I'm not one to sit here and say back to blue. But goddamn, if you pull a gun on me, best believe I would rather you live. But I also value my life. There's this thing within the community that says I'm going home. And guess what? If you losing your life is a part of me going home, I'm going home. So this has
Yeah, I
nothing
agree
to do.
100%.
Yeah, this has nothing to do. This has nothing to do with race. And even in this situation, I have no problem if it was self-defense. I have no problem with Carmelo Anthony defending himself because you know what? I'm going home. But I also have to be held accountable for me bringing a knife onto school grounds when I'm not supposed to have one. Fuck race relations, fuck racial tensions. This has absolutely nothing to what all of the so-called injustices that has happened to us. When I tell you stories like that, and trust me, that is not even the most gruesome story I can tell you when it comes from my anecdotal experiences. I look at that situation, I say the person who was most affected by this and that whole entire tragedy that happened was her son getting tortured by his own father because of his jealousy, because of his because of his distaste. That is the shit that irritates the fuck out of me. So in this situation with Carmelo and with Austin, I hate that Austin lost his life, but I'm also glad that we can look within the law and we can look at the statutes and say, Anthony, I know you felt like you was defending yourself, which is great, but you got to be held accountable for one, this body, for two, bringing that knife onto school grounds. And that's the solid story. I don't care what no content creators say. I don't care what no mainstream media point says. I don't care about none of that. All I look at is the facts. It's all I care about. I'm not here to say, oh, well, I'm here to be a part of the black community because we've been done so wrong. Have we been done wrong? Yes, we have been done wrong. But that does not mean I'm going to promote the kingdom of niggardry just because I want us to get empathy. First, we have to get better. This is why I do the show Masculine Power Hour. Because how can I sit up here and blame everyone else for treating us the way that we show them we want to be treated? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I
Hold on,
don't.
hold on for 1 second. Let me catch Deborah's super chat really quick and just remember what you were saying. Deborah with $5 says, "Never ever live a life of revenge. I promise you that your life will be filled with misery and failure. Let it go." Appreciate you. Go ahead.
So I think the problem that I have with the Carmelo situation, right, is like when you talk about the legalities of carrying a knife and stuff, right? Um, Black and white, you're right, right? Like I told, I forgot who show I was. Oh, a Hamp show, right? Because they tried to make this thing about like, if you carrying a knife. You either one or two things. You either looking for trouble or you think it's going to be trouble. And I told him that's not necessarily true. When I was young, I was about 12 or 13. My older brother had hid his 380 in our bookcase in my room. I found it. I was walking around 12 or 13 with a 380, right? But I didn't have any intentions. I was a dumb kid walking around with the motherfucker. You feel me? Now, that's illegal, correct? Put me in a
Yeah.
situation where I have to defend myself. Would anybody give a fuck whether that shit was illegal or not? You get what I'm saying? And I
And
think that's the part that I struggle with because
yeah.
where you are correct, it'll be like this, right? Let me give you a better situation. If I'm a felon, right,
Hmm.
and I have a pistol on me, right, and of course, if you're a felon, you're not supposed to have a pistol on you. Go.
If you're
My
a felon,
bad.
you're not supposed to have a pistol on
Somebody
you, and
get
you got
out the
a pistol.
way.
Hey,
In the
hey, hey,
state of
mute up,
in the
mute up, mute up, mute
No,
up, mute
my
up, mute up.
my daughter just damn near ran in front of
Boy,
a fucking
stop
car.
yelling. Oh, she ran out in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
Um.
bro. Hey, listen, I'll
So
cuss my kid out. Don't feel bad.
yeah.
Get the
ran and then
motherfucking ass
stopped.
out the goddamn street.
But no, so and I end up in a situation where I have to defend myself. I think 9 times out of 10, where now I will say the police may still care about the fact that I was a felon with that, but I think overall that would be a kind of like a I don't want to say non-factor, but a minimum factor in the situation if I had to defend myself. You get what I'm saying? So
Definitely.
the part that is kind of irking me is the part of people trying to paint this kid like he's this troublemaker thug, yada yada yada, because he was carrying a knife. Like, first of all, it's Texas. Guarantee you, I mean, it's Texas. That's all I gotta say.
Uh-huh.
So I think that's the part that kind of gives me trouble with her. But as far as what you're saying, as far as the law and stuff, I agree with you.
Yeah.
It's kind of black and white. It is what it is.
I have no problem with your statement other than this part. I don't care if it's Texas. What is the law? What does the school code of conduct say? The school code of conduct says you cannot have a knife. Can we address that part first? Tom, are you there?
Yeah, yeah, I'm listening. Yeah,
Yeah. What does the school code of conduct say? You cannot have knife. You cannot have a knife. Can we
yeah,
understand that part?
yeah. My
Okay,
school could have conduct said I couldn't sag my pants.
got you. So the thing is, whether it's more, and this is, and I'm glad that you bring that up.
Mm.
Black people love to always talk about the morality of a thing. What does the law say? And you know what? Here's the other thing. If you don't like the law, change it. Go vote. Go get it changed. Now, I per se, if you a felony, if you a felon, you're not supposed to have a gun. But will I look at you different if you defend yourself with a gun in a situation where you need to defend yourself? No. But you still got to be held accountable for being a felon. Just like me personally, I don't see why you have to have a license to drive a car, but I understand the sense behind it. So when you get pulled over and you don't have insurance, guess what? I don't have a problem with you driving your car, but you got to answer for there's no insurance. Same thing goes with if I don't have a problem with you defending yourself with a knife. I'm not going to sit here and call you a thug for having a knife on school grounds where you're not supposed to. I'm getting a little feedback. Oh shit. Let me
Now you
drop
sound
off.
cool over here.
No, 2D Bug said I'm getting a little feedback.
Oh, okay.
Uh, am I feedbacking? Oh, you know what? I'll just go out and come back in. Be right back.
You sounded good there. You didn't.
Yeah, my pet is kind of crazy, Moxie.
Bruh,
She said my pet. Damn.
I know. Yeah, man. But I'm just go back to what we were talking about. It's an unfortunate circumstance, and it's like no side really wins at the end of the day on this kind of case. It really doesn't. So you know,
All
both
right.
kids had promising futures and stuff like that. So hopefully, Oh, so you back? You back?
Yeah, I'm back. Here, let me play this for y'all right quick. Right here.
Linda Lewis, police say Jamisha
That is my sister-in-law, Jamisha Kelly.
Kelly was one of two people shot by her ex-boyfriend 2 weeks ago today.
7 Action News reporter
Number one, not her ex-boyfriend, it's her ex-husband. This is, and see, you know what? I was on Freezy's the other night, and Logic was up there, and he was like, "Oh, he just read from the article." This is why I don't follow mainstream media for shit like this when they don't have all of the details. This is why I say before we give an emotional response, we have to get the facts. When I and I've already never trusted mainstream media, but when this shit happened, because this is personal to me. But when this shit happened, I knew until I see the report, official report, I don't care.
Darren Cunningham joining us live now with the message loved ones are sharing. Darren.
Yes, good evening. Jamisha Kelly's aunt reached out to me wanting to share.
By the way, Jamisha Kelly aunt, which I know as Auntie Judy. Auntie Judy's going to be up here talking.
What kind of person she was.
What up?
I was gonna say too, Phil. A lot of us know coming from the places that we know, and this is why we question police reports, is them shits don't always be accurate. And if you come from certain situations and you'd have been in certain situations, you would know motherfuckers ass, subtract, leave out all the time in them shits.
Hey, Tommy, can I be honest with you? I used to work for the government. Trust me when I tell you, I know how to lie on a report. But you know why I like reports? Because they can be held up in court. You can take a court document and says, okay, Tommy B, you said on August 1st at 2:53 in the afternoon, you said A did B. When we watched the video, A did not did B. A actually did C. Mr. Tommy B, what do you have to say for yourself? Oh, well, now we can hold you to accountability, not because of what some biased propagandized article said on the damn internet because the person had a bias against Tommy B or had a bias for Tommy B. You can be held accountable for that because of freedom of speech. A lot of people just say shit just because they're trying to drum up some shit. I'm only quiet right now because Raw's on the call. But when it comes down to me looking at police reports, let me look at the police report and then I can say later down the line, oh, you know what? By the way, I got to change up something. I was wrong because this is what I put out in the atmosphere when I was just reading a police report. Not, oh, this is what I said about this person who wrote an article. I don't care what them people say about an article. Fuck them people. Let me look at the police report. And if the police officer's lying, then guess what? That nigga lying, he need to be held accountable. Just that simple.
Yeah, no, I wasn't saying that for you. I'm just saying that more for the audience because I think the majority of Americans don't literally understand that a police report doesn't mean that's accurately what happened. A lot of people think, oh, the police report said it, that's what happened. It's like, nah, bro, I've been in situations where like I seen the whole thing go down and the police report was way the fuck off.
Way the fuck off. Let's continue.
She also let me know that a gathering is supposed to take place here at Chandler Park this evening, and she says that loved ones are supposed to wear pink and black, which were Kelly's favorite colors.
She was an awesome, awesome mother.
Judy Kelly speaks fondly of her niece, Jamisha Kelly, displayed on these specially designed poster boards for her vigil.
She loved her children dearly. She loved her family dearly.
A mother of 8 children, gone too soon.
It's just a blessing that we had her as long as we did.
The 41-year-old and her boyfriend were gunned down outside of a Southfield hotel on May 8th. Southfield police say her ex, Kyle Bozeman III, the father of her 2 youngest children, pulled the trigger.
We were all just devastated.
That afternoon, police shot and killed Bozeman when they say he reached for his assault rifle. Kelly says Bozeman...
There's a car right there. If y'all can see my mouse on the screen, this black car right there, that was the
Camaro.
Car. Yeah, that's what he was in.
And her niece had been together for at least a decade. And the breakup occurred nearly 2 months prior to Bozeman's cowardly actions.
Sometimes breakups can be hard, but I don't never think it should come down to somebody being murdered.
Now, she says her family is motivated to raise awareness about domestic violence. According to Michigan State Police, in 2021, over 70,000...
But yeah, so I just gave y'all a small little bit of insight to what I dealt with on a personal level, right? And when Anton was covering this shit, what, a year or 2 years or however long ago that was, when Anton Daniels was covering this, I was in the chat like, yeah, bro, that was my family. You see what I'm saying? Just like the situation with those 2 babies that was in that garage that died, that they alleged froze to death. Those are my little cousins.
Oh, so, okay, I know. Okay.
I don't put too much shit out there, but you know, sometimes I do.
Yeah, I got you.
The thing is though, like I look at things straight down the middle. I don't look at things from a black perspective or from a non-black perspective. But what the black community will say is, "Oh well, you cooning or you're not a part of black community." Why would the hell would I want to be a part of something that can only see one sided? But that's
But see, look, like I think this is like in the comments, this is what we talking about, bro. Like this is where the divide comes in, and this is why like the race thing comes in. Like Titty Bug, I lived in Texas. I lived in Texas. They have fucking sundown towns all through the South. It's literally known. So to even insinuate that it ain't racist in Texas is absolutely nuts. If that's what you truly believe, I don't know if she's joking or not, but there's people out there that really have that opinion. And it's like if you can literally live somewhere like out that way and literally come to that opinion, it's like what world are you even living in? So when some of these things happen and people bring up some of these subjects, I think that's where like a lot of the disconnect comes in at, because some people live in this world where like everything is everything. Like I had a very good friend, right? That older white guy, like 56, 57 or whatever. Me and him talked every day. I used to work for him. He had me he lived in a city called Lodi, Lodi, California. Literally like one of the most racist cities over here. Like got a super reputation for it. He's from the city. So he invited me to Denny's. We was about to go shooting with him and his family. I come into Denny's and I just come sit at the table. I'm not even tripping. He looks at me and go, "Bro, did you not just see them like stare you all the way to the table?" And I'm like, "No, what you mean?" They literally just stared you all the way to your seat. I'm like, "Yeah, I don't really be tripping off shit like that too much." And he's like, "I've literally never seen that happen before in my life." And like it's trippy to me because I have to remember like you're not living in a world where this type of shit would kind of even affect you or something. So you can live in a world where um these are issues that you don't never have to face or whatever. So like when some of these things come up, I think some people don't even understand like that as far as we have come in some places, it ain't necessarily because like I'm in California and I tell people this all the time. When I went to the military, my mom's in the moved to the suburbs. When I got out the military, I moved out there. Spray painted the N word with the ER on the side of my mama car. Uh, called my little brother's homegirl that they was walking with down the street an N word lover. Uh, cops harassed us. Um, um, my dad in his 50s had him on the ground taking pictures of his tattoos like he's a gang member. My dad ain't never been to jail, don't have no kind of criminal record. And this is 2007, 2008. This ain't 1960 something. I'm sorry, no, 2008, 2009. You know what I'm saying? So it's yeah, it's and every state has sundown towns. That is hilarious. Okay. I'm a truck driver, but okay.
I mean, and everywhere that I've ever been in life, it's always been a, oh, don't go over there. They don't like black people. Oh, don't do this. They don't like that. Man, listen, I'm gonna go wherever the fuck I want to go.
Yeah, but it's
And
definitely levels. Like when I
yeah,
went to Louisiana and I seen a grouping of people that had some Confederate flags, and I wanted to make a U-turn and kind of, you know, be
I'm,
my dumb California self about it. And the person I was with that was from the South told me, nah, don't turn this motherfucking car around.
I'm
Like
not.
it's different.
Guess what my dumb black ass would do. My dumb black ass would be like, "Oh, Confederate flags, nice," and just keep on fucking driving. I don't care what people listen. If you want to come after me just because of color of my skin, just know I'm packing and I ain't going down without a fight. You see what I'm saying? Like it's just that simple. Like you got to. I don't live my life in fear, right? The thing
Yeah.
is, I can't allow myself to live my life in fear because then I'll be missing out on all the great things in life that the life has to offer. Why would I subject myself to isolating myself from a piece of land just because? this Confederate flag and white people say that I
Okay.
shouldn't be there. I mean, it's
So
stupid. It's stupid, but don't get me wrong. I'm stupid. So
let me attack this dumb comeback that y'all love to do.
go ahead.
I'm white. You think I'm accepted in the hood? There's plenty of fucking white people in the hood. So please stop being dumb. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah,
Anybody that's a
white
visitor to the
people.
hood, like,
White,
I hate that shit, bro. Like, that's how clueless some of these people are, bro.
Christopher
white
J was
people.
about to make a comment. Go ahead,
No,
Chris.
I'll say white people are just as broke, if not broker, than black people, and they outnumber us. So yeah, to your point, yeah, there's white people in the hood too. White people got their own ghetto. We call it the narrative called it trailer parks. I seen them myself, but yeah,
But no, Christopher,
that's
I'm talking about
that's
in
the time.
hours.
Hmm?
I'm talking about in hours.
Of course,
You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you
Tommy,
talking?
when you say ours, you mean the hood or like
Yeah,
what do
yeah,
you mean your
like I'm saying, like
the hood?
the
hood,
majority
hood.
black hood
There's white
is what
people
I'm
in the
saying.
hood, hood.
Because I know it's trailer parks. Like one of my best friends in the
Yeah, we
military,
see them all
a
the
white
time.
dude
White
from
people,
Oklahoma.
they're there
Yeah,
because they ain't got no choice but to be there. So
yeah.
get comfortable.
But to sit there and
Don't
go,
do nothing
hey,
stupid, and we'll see what happens.
hey, I'm white. Do you think I'm accepted in Bankhead? Like, all right, dog, shut up. You sound dumb as fuck. We literally talk about each other about not fucking up white people in the hood. Like, what do you? That's what, bro. Clueless shit. What's the first thing they say? Oh my god, why do we do this to ourselves and we don't do it to nobody else? But now all of a sudden you can't come. Like, what are you talking about?
Y'all got it. I'm just getting something to eat. Y'all got the conversation.
Yeah, I've been through Bakersfield a bunch of times. It usually is those small towns though, like CCD said, like them, like Oildale or something like that. They even got one outside of San Diego that's pretty bad or something like that. But um, it wasn't it
So
it, it
you talking
wasn't.
about Logan Heights?
What do I know about Bankhead? Bankhead ain't no different than any other hood. What are you talking about?
You
My
talking about
mama
Logan
li- my
Heights,
mama
Tommy
live in
B?
Atlanta, huh?
You
Nah,
talking
nah.
about
CCD was talking about Bakersfield.
oh
It's
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah. I've been there. I've
yeah,
been
Middle
there.
California. It's middle of fucking nowhere.
It's
There ain't shit
nowhere,
out
bro. It's
there.
like nothing but agriculture over there.
I dated a chick that was out there, but
Mm.
yeah, this misnomer that oh, if I go to the hood and I'm white, just all of a sudden they just gonna take me out. Like fuck out of here, bro. What are you talking about?
I'm called bias.
That shit sounds nuts.
It's called bias. People have a bias. People have a bias because of
Mind you, you'd
because
have
of
more
fear of what
trouble if
they've
you
been
from an
told.
opposite hood. You'd have more trouble if you from an opposite hood than if you was a different race. Literally. Like, what are you talking about? That shit is hilarious.
She said, "My husband doesn't want me on here to drink 2 bucks. Thank you for supporting the show. Still love you." I'm listen. Just remember, that's Tommy B. That's not me. I didn't say anything. I didn't do nothing. Tommy B, you trying to get me thrown off the internet, man? Why you
uh,
attacking my white constituents? What's wrong with you, man?
I don't know, but I guess I did my job. Got that idiot out of here. You think I
He's a
can go to
supporter.
Bankhead? The fuck are
He's a
you talking? What's
supporter of
gonna
the
happen if
show.
you go to Bankhead?
He's a supporter of the show. Why you gotta do that? Though?
Oh, my bad.
See, no, that's not what I'm saying. No, that's not what I'm saying because I've already been slated for saying that just because someone shows you money does give you money does not mean that they have to give you a lead. Me personally, Tootie Bug know that she's more than welcome to hit this link anytime she wants to. I don't have a problem with a disagreement, but
I
just don't
think
be
she said
disrespectful.
earlier her husband didn't want her to get on the panel when
When Sandy was up here.
Tyranny was up there. Yeah.
Hmm. Because sometimes I just let y'all. Sometimes I just let y'all rock to just watch for dumb shit to happen, and then when I sit back and point it out, then people are like, "Oh, well, come on, Will, that's just going too far." I've asked y'all to leave emotion out of it, but y'all keep doing this shit.
Nah, Akron Slim. They she called me Drake because of the profile picture. Because I got the Hey Drake,
Because you like Drake.
huh?
That's because you like Drake.
He's my favorite.
Exactly. But most of you
Listen,
Kendrick, Most of you Kendrick lovers love Drake. Y'all just don't want to admit it.
Hey, look, I'll put it like this, Phil. When the happenings of that Hidden Hills house come out, we gonna
Mm-hmm.
have a nice conversation.
Oh, we definitely gonna have a nice conversation. You know why?
The
Let me
the
tell you
the
like
uh,
this.
the YOLO house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let me tell you like this. Kendrick better get his shit together. It ain't looking too good for him in the summer. That last record that Drake just put out just put Kendrick on his back.
What record?
That last one,
Nokia?
yeah.
Oh, the one that he's paying influencers to make dances to make it hot? Get out of here, Phil. You out your mind.
Did
And
you
that's
wait? Hold on.
documented too.
I knew this was going that.
Of course, you listen. It's
And Titty
always
Boy,
light
you have
skin.
seen me on here. It's Tommy B. I've seen you in the chat before. I've been on Sales Channel before. You definitely seen me before.
It's always light skin. Hey, you better hope Angry Man don't hear you because he will come up here and tell you straight up that you're wrong.
You think
What's
I
up?
give a fuck what Angry Man say? I'm being smoked, Angry Man.
Why you gotta disrespect the OG man? Don't do that. Don't do that.
First of all, nigga, don't ever call that nigga my OG. I'm
I
from
don't say
somewhere.
yours. I don't say yours. I said mine.
That ain't even your OG,
This
nigga. You
dude
from
Tommy
Detroit.
said, "I'm from somewhere."
You
So
from
wait,
Detroit.
what the fuck that mean?
Because OG actually means something. See, people on this internet keep using terms and shit the way that they want to. OG
Hmm.
actually means something.
It means something to you, and it also
No,
means
no,
something
no,
to
no,
me.
no. It means
Oh,
something to the people that created the word. The people that are using the word aren't even from that life or even
mm.
agree with that life.
So let me ask you a question.
Go
So
ahead.
if you didn't create the word, you shouldn't use the word.
I'm
I
not saying
want
if
you.
you create
No,
it, you
no,
should
hold on,
use
wait,
it.
wait.
No,
I want
listen.
you.
Listen
Wait,
what I'm
wait.
gonna
I
tell
want
you.
you to be. Wait, wait, hold on. I want you to be mindful of your answer. If
No,
you
listen
do,
what I'm gonna
you're.
tell you. If you
Mm-hmm.
don't agree, because this is what happens a lot of times on this internet.
Mm-hmm.
People hate the people,
Mm-hmm.
don't like the lifestyle,
Mm-hmm.
they mock it, and
Mm-hmm.
he's one of them,
Mm-hmm.
but love everything about what they do. Like the way that they dress, like the way that they walk, like the way that they talk, like every the
You're doing everything except answer my question, sir. I was going to point that out. You're not answering my question.
I answered your question.
No, you didn't. I said, so if you did not originate the word, you should not use the word, correct?
No, you should use the word, but use it appropriately. Like we don't say the and it means at. The means the.
So what does nigga mean?
If you want to go all the way back,
Yeah, sure, let's
because I
go.
did a paper on it. From what I understand, it meant
Sure.
what was it? Royalty. Um, it was some other shit. I wish I still had that paper I wrote on it.
Oh,
But it
okay,
ain't.
cool.
But basically, it was misinterpreted by some people from the Caucasus Mountains, and they turned it
Oh,
into a negative.
gotcha. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So my thing is we should not be using any language that we don't have no true interpretation or what the actual definition of it is now, right?
No, we know that's where you
No,
messing up.
no,
People
no, no,
know
wait.
the actual
Let me
interpretation of it.
let me paint my narrative so you can
Go
understand
ahead.
exactly where I'm going. All right, cool. So should black people be using English language as the original language when it's not our original language?
What do you? We were forced to use this language, sir.
No, no,
We
no.
ain't had no choice.
That's not my point. That's not my point.
It
I don't
doesn't
care.
matter if it's your point or not. We were forced to. It's not like we
No,
had a choice. We didn't come
no.
over and go, you know what? We're gonna switch from our native tongue to this tongue.
Mm-mm. My point is, we are using the English language incorrectly. We use ebonics, we use slang, we use everything that is not ours, right? So, if the English language, just like I am using the word, I'm using the term OG wrong. I say
Mm.
that most people are using the English language incorrectly. So, I will stop using the term OG when black people stop using English as a form of communication.
Well, okay, English was forced upon us, and we refreaked it into our own interpretation of the same way that Mexicans have refreaked Spanish into their interpretation. And if you take a Mexican to Spain,
Hmm.
that Spanish ain't the same. The same way if you take an American white person to English, that
Hmm.
English ain't the same. The same way if you take a black person to a white neighborhood, the English ain't the same.
Just like I
So
took
we
the
freaked
term
it.
OG, just like I took the term OG and used it the way that I wanted to.
What Ross say? I ain't here.
See how that works? No, no,
I ain't hear what Ross said.
she's on a business call.
Oh, okay.
He's on a
I
business
thought
call.
you said in the back. Okay.
No. So
No,
my
you.
thing is, stop trying to gatekeep words that you don't
No,
have
no, no, no.
ownership
We're
of.
not gatekeeping it though. What we're saying
Yeah,
is,
you just said
it's not.
you
It's not
hate
the
you,
ownership.
you
It.
just said that you didn't like the way that I was using the term OG.
No, honestly, it's not that I like it or not. It's that's not the term.
Okay, so what is the correct term,
So if I
and
get on
why
here and
is there a
say,
problem
if
that
I
I'm
get on here
using
and
the wrong
say,
term?
"Sil, that's my squid," you be looking at it like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I will
No,
ask
that's
you
my
what it means.
squid.
Yeah, I will ask you what it means. And because I'm stupid, right, I will turn it into whatever it is that I want it to mean. I'm not going to let you gatekeep what it is that I do and or don't say. You can say whatever the hell you want, and I can say whatever the hell I want.
It's
What's
not.
the problem with
It's
that?
not even necessarily gatekeeping. My thing is
Go
where
ahead.
that word originates from.
Got
The
you.
people that use those terms,
Uh huh.
people have a feeling about them, but
Great.
they love their language.
Great. And I love my language, and I also love my stupidity and my arrogance. So guess what? Regardless of how people may feel about me using the term OG, to me that's showing respect for those who have came before me and know more than I know, even if it comes to a particular subject. Me, that's just showing that I have respect for them. Now, if people don't like the term that I'm
Wait,
using, wait, if people don't like the term that I'm using, then they themselves need to look within themselves and hold themselves accountable for participating in language that is not their own. If we're going to talk about origination, see how stupid makes stupid things.
so I
Take your time.
well, I'm not gonna say you because I don't know your particular feeling about. No, I've heard you speak.
Go
So I
ahead.
don't like the niggas that do these illegal things
Okay.
that quote unquote harm our community, yada yada yada. But to show
Mhm.
respect, I'm gonna call somebody that exact term to show them respect.
Sure. Why not?
Okay.
Listen, I never said I had to be right, and I've already openly
No,
stated that
you're
I'm
right. Yeah,
stupid.
yeah.
This is what I mean, right? But this is what the black community does. Unless you stand with Carmelo, you ain't black. Unless you using these terms correctly, then you wrong. You don't like the black community, yet you use our terms. Well, then don't introduce me to the term.
No, that term ain't got nothing to do with the black community.
Oh,
That
what they
has
got
something to
to
do
do?
with a specific section of the black community that
I
people
know it
like to
does,
speak
but
against.
I know it does, and I hate the kingdom of niggardry too. But that don't mean that I won't use his terms. I use his terms all the fuck I want to, and if they don't like it, kick rocks. Oh well, they'll be okay. Again, where did I ever say that I'm above them? All I said was that I'm stupid. They the ones that want me to use the terminology in the way that they want me to use it. That's not how this shit works. Just like I can't tell them niggas not to sell drugs, sag their parents, and touch their kids. They can't tell me what the fuck to do.
This nigga said, touch their kids.
Do niggas? Okay, cool. How many niggas and how many bitches have been jailed for touching their children within
I
that
have no
community?
idea. We only got that issue around where I'm from.
Well, I can tell me where you from, and I go look up the sex offender registry, and I guarantee you, it's a ton of them motherfuckers on it.
Oakland, California. You know where I'm
Okay,
from.
cool. Bet. Now I'm gonna get back to my computer. When I look this up and I see a whole bunch of these motherfuckers on there, I don't want you to say nothing. Don't get in your feelings.
I didn't know. I said specific type of people.
Mm-hmm. These specific type of people's on that list.
I'm pretty sure there are some, but it ain't a majority
I'm pretty sure there are.
to put that jacket on them. I don't think, but I could be wrong.
Okay, so let me ask you this question because this is something that I always have to do.
Hmm.
When you're speaking about this section of the community, are you
Hmm.
talking about the majority of the minority or the whole?
That's a super minority.
Okay, so the super minority that you're speaking up for, where are they so we can talk to them?
Shit outside.
Okay, so they're not here though, so we can't have conversations with them.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So with that being said, because me just using my stupid brain, then you would have to be concluded as a representative of that section of the community, right?
I represent myself.
No, no.
Represent the nigga
Way
gun
to
talk.
stay on code, Tommy. Way to stay on code.
You
Exactly.
feel me?
You seen how fast he switched up? You seen how fast he switched up?
Look, I ain't one
Mhm.
of them niggas that sit there and try to say, "I'm from here. I can do that." Nah, nigga, I stand on my
Mm-mm.
last name, nigga.
Okay, well,
I
I'm
see.
Black Hunter. My last name is not for everybody to know, but but trust and believe me, stupid is and stupid does. I'll tell you honestly and straight. Here you go. Did you put water in there? No, I just heated it up. Put cheese in it. You like it?
But no, I already cooked him though, so I wouldn't be worried if he heard me say that or not.
Hmm? It's been over a week. What's up? You wanna go get something to eat? Yeah, but it's that. Okay, sure, no problem. No problem. I go get some. What you want to eat? From Subway? Sure. Cool. Let me know what you know if you from Subway. Yeah. Hello?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So now you just gave me a headache. Put my cash out because you just made me show everybody just how stupid I am. All right, y'all. We about to
He's
shut
a,
this show down.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
about to say, as many dummies on YouTube, nigga, you is far from that. Get the fuck
Oh no, well, I'm stupid. I'm stupid as hell. Let Marcus
then
tell
what
you.
what the fuck do we
Marcus know
call
I'm
these
stupid.
niggas? Because some of these
Mm-hmm.
niggas.
Marcus know I'm stupid. Marcus ain't I stupid?
You're a very intelligent person, sir. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm
Marcus hit
staying
my
on
cash
code.
out there.
I'm
Marcus hit
staying
my
on
cash out.
code. Hey, I'm staying
Sister,
on code. Like Tommy, I'm taking a page out of Tommy's book. Let me stay on code, dog.
Sister Virginia, am I
Feel me?
stupid?
Yeah, you ain't about to get me lying.
Oh, to tell the truth, am I stupid?
You got the patience to sit through 26 documents, chicken scratch, and read all of it. You better than me.
Man.
So wait, if I'm stupid, that means you dumb as hell, right?
Of
I was
course.
like, this nigga said I'm about to read all of this?
Yeah, why not?
Shit. Hey.
I appreciate it, especially
Yeah,
the
exactly.
debunking.
Hey, he's my personal audiobook.
Fuck you. Fuck you. All right, that's how we gonna solve this problem. We gonna do this. You know, personal fucking audio book. God damn it, I've been up here
and,
for 4 hours.
We
and I get some
appreciate
commentary
the
with it.
JFK debunking. We really do.
Mm-hmm.
MLK, we
Mm-hmm.
kind of knew, but JFK,
We knew JFK too. We just didn't know the details.
Well, a lot of people don't understand the concept of what's happening with JFK. JFK was killed by a certain group of people, which a lot of people think that it's not safe to say on the internet, but I don't care. The small hat Jews killed JFK. We all know that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm stupid
I
enough
know
to
it's
read
either
that.
them or the mob.
Well, I like to read things. Well, this is what happens when you read, right? Reading is fundamental. And I like to read shit because I like to be educated on shit. No matter how stupid that I tell you that I am, most people don't read. Most people will tell
For
you that they're
sure.
smart. Most people will tell you that they're smart just because they sound good or they can come up with a catchy tune or a catchphrase. Dope donate or dope discussion deserve dope donations does not mean that you're the smartest nigga in the room, and that's not a shot at Izzy. But my thing is just that I could come up with something just as easily stupid. I literally came up with the whole entire concept of the Delta Dick Defense Force, and all of these niggas on YouTube literally fit it. But I don't see nobody hitting my cash app for coming up with that shit. I was supposed to be in it, but I guess I can talk for a little bit more.
The
But
the
yeah,
the Delta what?
the Delta Dick Defense Force.
Oh my God.
hmm Tell me that it don't fit. Listen,
You can't take Detroit niggas nowhere, boy.
this is what the Delta Dick Defense Force is. The Delta Dick Defense Force is all scoped into the whole thing of niggas is going to defend niggas by any means necessary. Because what they want is they want women to feel sorry for them and they want to lower them on the phallic member of another man. That's the Delta Dick Defense Force. When niggas would jump out the woodworks and defend Diddy, and we all know that Diddy was in there tearing Meek Mill ass up. That's Delta Dick Defense Force. Niggas would be like, so what? He killed 12 people and he served crack to all of the little kids in the neighborhood. That's still my man's. That's the Delta Dick Defense Force.
Hey, was Will Smith in that too? Was Will? I heard Will Smith was in on that. Is that true?
Yes, he
You
is.
know what?
Mhm.
The whole P Diddy stuff.
I don't know if he on the Diddy thing. I think he got his own little situation going on. I don't even think he
Oh
needed
no!
Diddy.
Did you see Will Smith on Drink Champ recently?
Uh-uh. Well, I've
Oh
seen some
man.
clips, but I ain't watched the whole thing.
Um. Oh, you know what? Go check that out. But also, did you
I
see
will.
Terrence Howard response to how everybody was?
Yeah.
Yeah. Terrence Howard was like, "Listen, if I come see you, just know I'm coming with guns." Like, ooh.
Terrence Howard said that nigga tried to fuck. I was like,
Mhm.
what the fuck?
Hey, Christopher J, really quick. Cody Rhodes told the funniest story ever. He was telling the story how they had the worst match in existence in WWE history, and he said that the guy missed a spot, and he was supposed to kick out when the referee was counting him out, and he counted three, and everybody like stood up like what the fuck, and he ran to the back in gorilla position, and Vince McMahon was looking at him. You could tell he was mad as hell. He was looking like what the fuck is you? You can tell Vince McMahon getting ready to explode, and old dude was like that referee was trying to fuck on me. And it's like you can't even respond to that.
What?
Yeah, I gotta
Yo,
see you that.
I still gotta watch that documentary because there's a lot of that stuff that's going on with Vince McMahon stuff. So I wanted to check that out. See that. I guess that
Mm.
was
Oh yeah.
that WWE
Vince
shit was
McMahon was
crazy.
a wild boy.
Oh yeah,
He was a
we covered
wild
it.
boy.
We covered it.
Yeah, we sure did. Where was y'all
Mar-
at when we covered on Wrestling Wednesdays? Thanks for letting us know that. If y'all don't
Nah, I
support the
think I
show.
was on break when the Vince
Bro, don't
McMahon
even
thing
do
happened.
that. Don't do that.
Crystal J, you see how we just exposed that? You just don't even
yeah.
watch us.
Hey, listen, I'll be having to take my YouTube breaks.
YouTube break. All right.
Oh, okay. YouTube break, but you'll be on the panel for 11 hours arguing with niggas. Gotcha.
Oh,
You?
Will, you got the wrong nigga.
You ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing to do on Wednesday night. So go ahead and get caught up on your WrestleMania predictions because that's what we doing on Wednesday. We doing
Bro, I started watching WWE.
predictions.
No offense.
No
Nah,
So,
offense.
you know when I stopped watching? Remember when Mae Young had that when she had the baby and it was a hand? I was
Uh,
done. I said, okay,
what
y'all
you
niggas
stop
going
with?
too
That was
far.
during the golden age of wrestling. What are you talking about?
Bro, she pushed out a hand. I couldn't do it
Yeah.
no more. I said they done ran out of ideas. This shit is crazy.
No, that was when creative was doing a good thing. It's the birth of the black hand. You don't get it?
I look, maybe I was too young, but hell fuck no, I didn't get it. I was
Mm.
like, this bitch just pushed a
He
hand out.
said F the
Man, y'all missed it. Look, you
Because
should have
remember,
watched.
we was waiting for the baby. We was like, oh, she about to have a baby. And she pushed out a hand. And it
Was
wasn't
that
cousin it. I mean, not cousin. It wasn't thing.
no? Was it Pillman or was it Kidman?
It was a May Young and I believe it was Mankind had a baby,
No,
I
it was
believe.
Mark
Mark
Henry. That was
Henry.
Oh,
Mark
Mark
Henry.
Henry. Yeah, Mark Henry. You're right. Yeah, Mark Henry.
Yeah.
I was like, I
No,
was
no, no. I'm
so
talking about
confused.
who pulled the gun out on Stone Cold?
Uh,
Oh,
Was that Pillman or was that Kidman?
shit, I can't remember.
One of
uh,
them pulled the gun out. That was good for TV, man. Wrestling has always been an entertaining thing, and it's been kind of dry like these past few forevers, but it kind of
Yeah.
worked its way
The
back up.
Rock trying to bring it back. And then Cody Rhodes has been kind of doing his thing a little bit. My
No, no,
homeboy
no.
watches, so I watch it kind
Brian
of through him a
Pillman.
little bit.
Brian Pillman, yeah, that was him that pulled the gun. Yeah, when John
Oh
Cena just
yeah.
turned heel, man.
Yeah. I heard about that shit.
It's
That
not
shit
gonna be
went
the same
crazy.
though. It hasn't been the same to be honest since I watched when like
Um,
I like when Booker T was in that shit, but before he turned into the king. I
Well,
like
see,
that stuff.
see, it's
I would say this is the best storyline in the last 20 years because Triple H took
That
it.
much? That far?
Yeah, because you got to think about when all the points are hitting, the billionaire is going to continue to do what he wants to do because he's like, if I do this, we win.
what's the chances we talk about wrestling and my partner that watch wrestling fucking call? Ain't that some shit? I'm gonna let
Mhm.
Bruh.
y'all in a minute though.
Man, y'all
All right,
better y'all
Tommy.
better get over the Wrestling Wednesday.
Oh yeah.
I'm about to go get something to eat. I appreciate y'all stopping by and hanging with me and us getting through this conversation. I know Tyranny. Oops, getting an echo real bad. I know Tyranny was doing her thing, but why is there an echo so damn bad? What the hell is going on? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can.
I don't know what the fuck is going on with that shit. I appreciate everybody for stopping on by. Well, I am about to go ahead and give y'all back the rest of y'all Saturday. I might be on later. I don't know. I probably need to do another episode of the Masculine Power Hour because I'm actually having fun doing those. It's actually really forthcoming. I see that a lot of people is liking the content as well. What y'all got
All
up
right,
later?
so man. No, I was just gonna hang out with the family. That's it. And my sister's in town before she goes back to Minnesota. Then my lady, so
Hey Marcus, let me
we
hold
about to
20,
hang out
dog.
a
Hit
little
my
bit.
cash app. Let me hold 20. Hit my cash
I
app.
got you.
Appreciate you, big
I
dog.
got you. Uh,
Appreciate
and
it.
well, shout out to the Toms. Make sure everybody go support them too because of what happened to them in their home. And then
Yeah.
also, anybody else that is just going through some tough times and rough times right now. This trial is going to be interesting when it goes to trial too. We'll see what happens then. Appreciate you, Sel. Everybody, just like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and the support Sell You Like podcast, and anybody else who came up through.
Most definitely. I appreciate you. Appreciate you, Marcus. I'll holler at you later. Crystal Day, I'll see you later, big dog.
All right, peace, man.
All right, dudes. I have just put the link in the chat. Make sure y'all go over to the Angry Man and show up and show out when y'all get over there and put it one in the chat and say, what up, though? Shout out from the lights. I appreciate each and every last one of y'all for stopping by. Y'all have a good day. I'll holler at y'all later. Dude.